Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to 80s Wrestling Con's first annual Virtual Mania. We're going to be going live with you guys all day. I got to turn my phone off. I'm having a little bit of a technical glitch here, but want to start. Andy Kaufman had his breakfast with Blassie, and I, Ryan Moore, your 80s Wrestling Con host, are having breakfast with Skinner and Haku. We got bagels, we got coffee, and we're ready for you. Handsomey and Levy, he's getting us prepared. We're going to be here all day long. 80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in. We're going to be here
all day long. What's happened to the barbecue that you said?
Barbecue. There is barbecue sauce over there next to the cream cheese.
Yeah, I thought that was jelly. I was going to put on bagel.
To go with our bagel, right?
Yeah. I've been laughing with these guys for the last hour. I got to be honest with you. For as much as I was looking forward to this, I'm not used to getting up this early. I don't know about you gentlemen, so I was kind of...
When I go fishing, I get up this early, but that's the only time.
Yeah, you're not going to catch much fish up here in Wayne, New Jersey.
I don't know if I'd eat them if I caught them.
No, it would be... And that's coming from the alligator man.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to eat the Jersey fish. But we're going to be here all day long. I'm going to be with Skinner and Haku till 11:30 in the morning. Gentlemen, how you guys doing? What's been new? Anything going on in your worlds right now? It's 2021. It's different times.
You first.
Ladies first. Good morning, America. That's just great.
Yeah.
You know, have the family and get to see Mr. Keirn here. I'm good for the day.
That's what's awesome about this too. Seeing these guys, getting to host these different events, seeing these guys that were on the road 300 to 350 days a year, catch up, reminisce. It probably never gets old for you guys.
Well, you know, sadly enough, I've known him almost 50 years.
Wow.
And I'm trying to reflect back. I mean, I remember when he first come to the country, and, you know, he was such a nice, humble...
I had a visa, too. Don't tell that I
He
didn't.
even had abs. I mean, you know, and I was going like, wow, you know. And, I mean, I got along with everybody in the dressing room, but I had no fear of him. And then I, you know, pulled a few ribs on him here and there. And didn't realize he's going to end up being the toughest guy in the whole damn world. But I'm glad to have him as my friend.
Well, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of comments.
The grudge.
The stories about Haku's legendary toughness outside of the ring, those exist, but you are a gentleman, and that's usually how this works. Usually the guys that are the toughest are the nicest because they don't have anything to prove.
Well, you know, with these guys, being a rookie and everything, they teach you the right way. You know, you have to be humble and you take care of things until you get to a point that, you know, you have to explode. It's not because of the booze, or because of the real thing of the business, but that's what it is, you know, with Steve and Mike Graham, God bless his soul, and, you know, all those guys, you know, Harley Race and all of them, you know, before me, you know, it was Shohei Baba, Inoki, and all of them in Japan, you know, that was, you know, I'm grateful.
You started out in sumo, correct?
Yes, yes.
So,
sumo was...
Yeah, that tradition and respect was ingrained in you from a young age.
Yes.
That's awesome.
If I could jump in here, most people have this concept of sumo wrestlers all being big, heavy guys. He wasn't heavy. He was just so powerful as a young guy, and he was real strong and had great balance and control of his body. And, you know, when you say sumo wrestler, I mean, when I saw him, I go, that guy's a sumo wrestler? Yeah. Well, he must move out of the way when they charge him or something, but at the same time, he was that powerful.
We all picture those stereotypes, but we're going to get started. We have a lot of different memorabilia that people have sent in. You can get your orders in for Skinner and Haku, as well as the Orient Express when Nikos Ricos takes over later as host, and then I'll be back for Jake Roberts. We're going to have all this talent here all day. 80swrestlingcon.com. Get the orders in. We're going to start off right now. Here's a great picture. Haku throwing that crescent kick to the midsection of, I think everybody knows that guy, the one and only immortal Hulk Hogan. This is for Nigel Edgington in Denver, Colorado. That is for you, sir. And, of course, we got Travis Buxton in Waterville, Maine with the legendary Skinner gimmick that you started in WWF in 1992. And that's always fascinated me because you went from being what they called the pretty boy, the innovator of the pretty boy gimmick, and then you go to WWF and they make it the complete opposite. They say, we're going to have you chew tobacco, spit it in people's face. How did that come about?
That's pretty simple. At that time, I was a little confused, even though I'd been in the wrestling business since 1972, early 90s. I'm looking at everybody's a character. And I'd just come off of being a Fabulous Ones with Stan Lane, so I thought I was pretty. And when I went to Vince, I'd killed 15 alligators in the first harvest in the state of Florida, and I just laid alligator parts on the table for him, you know, and said, I don't know what you want me to be, but I just killed a bunch of alligators. And he hired me, and because that I grew up with Hulk as a little kid all the way through school and everything, I think it was kind of a political thing. Yeah, you're Hulk's buddy, come on in.
Oh, okay.
But he goes, go home for a month, get rid of the bleach blonde hair, let your beard start growing out, and we'll give you an idea when you come back. I came back, and the first thing Vince said to me is, he says, hey, did you see that movie Deliverance? And I'm going, yeah, about 100 times. And he goes, I want you to be one of those guys. And I'm thinking, well, got to be Burt Reynolds, right? I mean, you know, he was the cutest guy in that movie. And I'm thinking, well, you want me to get a vest and kind of act like Burt Reynolds? He goes, nah, wrong guy. He said, you know the two guys in the woods with Ned Beatty? The one that said, hey, boy, you got a right pretty mouth. He said, I want you to be one of those guys. And so, you know, showed me a picture of what he wanted me to be, and whatever.
There you
I'm
go.
it.
That would have went really over well in the Attitude Era as well, I'd imagine.
Well,
Nigel and Rebecca, that's yours.
Sean,
Thank you.
Sean Heistro says, King Haku and Skinner, nice. It's going to be nice all day long. We're going to be here till 5 p.m. We got the Orient Express coming up later, as well as Jake the Snake Roberts. This one is for Skinner. It's for Anthony D. Simone.
this is Travis. Before you get going, Travis, there's your picture. Thank you, sir.
Sounds good. That's for Skinner. He just wants the signature. Speaking of King Haku, here we have, I believe this is to Tej. Tej, am I pronouncing that correct? T-I-G-H-E. Tej Schaefer. And that is King Haku. Nicholas Pomeroy says, Skinner, I love when you wrestled Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship at In Your House.
Well, Bret Hart was more my style pre-Skinner, and so it was easier to have a match with him. But Vince had this conception in his mind that I should forget all about wrestling and be more of a brawler. And he goes, let me ask you something, Steve. He says, how can a guy that's supposed to be an alligator poacher out of the Everglades know how to go behind, fireman carry, take the guy down, reverse all these moves and all of this stuff? He says you got to retard your wrestling down to zero. And so when I got to work with Bret, and there, you know, Bret wanted to work. And so I said, yeah, it made it a lot more fun, and it was back to the style I was used to, but there was very few of those matches as Skinner.
I would
Okay,
think
I
an alligator
just
guy
signed
would
this
know
to
how to wrestle.
Anthony. I didn't sign it, Anthony, so it's just Skinner on there, Anthony. There you go, buddy.
The T, there we go. It's right there, thank you.
And now we go to the tag teams. Of course, we were talking earlier about the fabulous ones. There's Steve Keirn and Sweet Stan Lane. This one is to Chris. Well, Chris Curtis on the back, but he wants it to Chris Fantastic. I guess he's making himself an honorary member of the Fantastics, which was not your team. That was you.
Well, that was a cheap imitation of the fabulous ones.
Well, I guess
They had
Chris
to have some
Fantastic is
little
admitting where
kids
the
that would
gimmick
grow
came
up
from.
to be us.
And of course, here we have the
red.
Colossal Connection, Haku and Andre the Giant. I'm sure we'll hear some Andre the Giant stories. This one's for Janelle Anselmo in Riverbank in California.
He passed on. I don't have to talk about him.
Yeah, and you know, he passed such a long time ago, but I don't think those Andre stories will ever go away.
Right.
And as we've learned here at 80s Wrestling Con on our Monday night virtual signings, sometimes we get stories that we've never heard before.
Right?
So
I got
that's-
some, but you probably ain't gonna hear.
You're in charge, wherever
There you go,
want to go
Chris.
with.
Oh, okay, I'm
80swrestlingcon.com.
trying
Keep
to hand
those
you the
orders
pen now.
coming in all day long. So much talent throughout the day. We got Orient Express and Max Moon coming up after Haku and Skinner. And then we have Jake the Snake Roberts later on. Get those orders in for Jake the Snake Roberts now, because from what I am being told, the store is swarmed right now. So please get those orders in now. Make it easier for everyone here at 80s Wrestling Con. Make it easier for yourselves. We want to make sure you guaranteed your autograph and shout out. All right, for Skinner, Jeremy Gibson.
Thank you.
There you go.
Black.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep them color coordinated for you gentlemen
It's
as much as
okay.
I can. This way you don't have to
Gotta
keep
remember
switching
it's
up and
Steve
cramping
Keirn,
this.
Skinner, and Fabulous One.
All right, this is Janelle and Somu, and Somu, thank you.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you.
Jeremy. There you go, Jeremy. Jeremy Gibson.
All right, we got the fabulous ones. Luke Glover in Magnolia, Texas. Do you still keep in contact with Sweet Stan?
Yeah, I was with him, not last weekend, but the weekend before last in Charlotte.
Oh, that's awesome.
Stan doesn't fly anywhere anymore, so he's got to be within Greensboro, North Carolina, driving distance for anything, so he's got a paranoia about flying.
Oh, all right. Haku and Andre again for Kaylani Menard in Massachusetts. Black to Kaylani. Matt Stevens says, this is awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Matt Stevens, for your support. Everybody else, 80swrestlingcon.com. Also, a reminder to those of you who are watching, feel free to share this video of this live stream to your Facebook pages. You never know what old school wrestling fans will see it on their newsfeed and want to join in on the chat, join in on the fun, and maybe even go to 80swrestlingcon.com and order a picture. So spread the word and share.
Luke, there you go, buddy. Luke Glover, Magnolia, Texas. Praying for you in Texas. Guys are having a problem there.
Yeah, definitely. This is for Corey Walker in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Skinner.
Okay.
Kailani Bernard from Massachusetts. Thank you.
All right. We're going to change it up a little bit here. Here we have Haku with an idol of mine, Bobby the Brain Heenan. King Haku and Bobby the Brain. That one is to Bill Dismaris in Warwick, Rhode Island. To Bill. 80swrestlingcon.com. Check out the online store. Get those orders in. There's going to be a lot of great Monday night virtuals coming up. I'll have the list for you in just a minute. We got a lot going on right now, but so many great signings coming up from now through the end of the summer on Monday
There you
nights.
go, Corey Walker.
All right, more Skinner. This one is for Luis Hoyo. To Luis. To Luis.
Luis. Luis. In black.
Bill Desmarazzi, Warwick, Rhode Island. Thank you.
Some of these questions that you guys are asking, I think we could probably understand what happened here. Thorsten Fritz says, Haku/Meng, thank you for clarifying, left WCW while being the WCW Hardcore Champion and appeared in the Rumble 2001. Can he tell us about those circumstances? I know WCW was purchased in March of 2001. The Royal Rumble was in January. Were there specific circumstances that made you leave with the title? Is that true?
I don't remember.
Okay,
Was
good.
I?
I'm glad you remember.
But that's a good one. It reminds me, I am still
You're still
the hardcore
champion.
Thank you for reminding me. See how much I worry about my career?
Yeah.
And I'm still, sorry everybody, Steve, I'm still the greatest champion here from WCW.
I'm not going to lie to you. You're a gentleman. You're a sweetheart of a guy. But when you paused for that long, I didn't know if you couldn't remember or if you were mad at me. So I got a little scared.
It'll be a slight backhand and you'll just disappear.
It's been a while that, I never thought about it until you brought it up, and it's true, It was that hardcore,
So for R-Truth or Ron Killings out there, the 24/7 title means nothing when we still have the original hardcore champ.
That's right.
This is for Lewis. Thank you, Lewis.
All right. For Adam Pop, we got Skinner right there. And for David Angus in Canada, we got Haku right there. That's what we love. All 50 states represented, over 20 countries since we started these virtual signings. Don't forget, we're going to be having them going now through the end of August. 80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in. We're with Skinner and Haku till 11:30. This is my breakfast with Blassie, except with Haku and Skinner. How cool is this?
There you go, Adam. Adam Pop. I hope you pop when you get this picture.
He's popping now.
You said you were a comedian, right? I'm trying to give you material.
I could look. What's the pandemic? I should say I used to be a comedian. Now I have to go to Florida for guest spots. That's how bad
I
it is.
think I'm pretty funny,
David,
too.
thank you. You guys make me hot here.
I have that effect. What can I
That
say?
poor guy brought me popping everywhere, not right now.
Sean McBride for Skinner, Sean McBride. It's also the coffee, though, too.
Sure.
And we have King Haku again. This is for Adam Pop in Michigan. That one's red. Red he wants for that.
All right.
Paul Frazier says, I've got Skinner's official claw that he used to wear around his neck. Give it back. I don't know. I do remember that. That was a weapon that you would use.
No such thing as a weapon in wrestling.
Okay, foreign
That's
object.
a foreign object right there.
I stand corrected.
It's not foreign to alligators, but it was foreign to everybody else. There you go, Sean. Isn't that good?
Jose Navarez says, how did Haku get along with the Wild Samoans? I'm guessing you got along with everybody.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, they paved the road for me, bro.
Yeah.
You know, these are the people from the South Pacific. You know, you're talking about the Wild Samoan, you're talking about Chief Peter Maivia, you know, Tom Morocco, Fuji, all those.
King Curtis.
King Curtis licked the cookies. Yes.
Can I tell a story about
You can do
it?
whatever, you can
go
do
ahead,
whatever
bro.
you want.
When King Curtis came to Florida, now this guy was an international traveler. He was like, he'd been in the wrestling business 100 years. I was a young, influential kid. I'd already made it through about 5 years of being green. But I kept saying I was green for the first 20 years of my career because it always was a good excuse. But he went to Silver Springs, Florida, which is an attraction in Ocala that nobody goes to because it's not exciting enough because it has glass-bottom boats that you can look at catfish in it and just things growing. And he came into the dressing room that night. He says, "Brother, I've been to the 7, what are the 7 things? Like the Taj Mahal and all those?
The wonders of the world.
7 wonders of the world.
Andre was the 8th.
I've never seen anything as beautiful as Silver Springs." And I was thinking, you know, how impressed was he over riding in a glass-bottom boat, you know? But anyway, I won't tell you how he got that way, but at the same time, it was interesting to hear him describe Silver Springs.
Well, I know you still have a close relationship with The Rock. Are you enjoying Young Rock on NBC? Have you seen any of
Yes,
that?
I'm watching it.
Yeah, I think it's a great love letter to the wrestling business. For all these years, wrestling's kind of been portrayed negatively in the
What are
mainstream.
you talking
and now-
about, love letters?
Well, love letter in the
that's before
sense
my
that-
time.
No. I'm sorry, I'm not going to write you a love letter, Mick. No, but what I mean is that it's nice to see the mainstream media showing wrestling some appreciation for
Right.
change and showing like a heartwarming aspect of it, the family aspect. So I think it's nice.
Yeah,
And I was
very
wondering,
nice. You know, I'm enjoying it. You know, especially with the, you know, I can't believe the actors that they.
Oh, yeah, spot on with the cast.
Yeah.
Kirk Wildland in Rochester, New York. This is for Skinner right there.
Glad you didn't talk to me about that.
Especially with the dad.
You can feel free to chime in at any time.
No. I got to be careful of I have no bosses.
Oh, okay.
And I got to guard my lips only because sometimes political views aren't the same and things like that. But
That's all right.
I never watched. The only thing I watch on television is ridiculousness.
Tom and Jerry.
Well, it's on MTV 16 hours a day.
Ridiculousness. I can watch that back to back my whole life, and I don't feel offended about anything. And I watch Paw Patrol. A few of the major comics. Sorry.
No, don't ever be sorry. I mean, I just never saw Skinner as a Paw Patrol guy, but you were talking, you know.
Brother.
You learn something new every day. I like it.
Adam, thank you.
All right. Here we have Haku again for Jimmy Remick in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, in red. I love the 80s wrestling con fans, but guys, please, more comments and memories. Some of these
There you go,
questions
Kurt.
of thoughts on so-and-so. It's not a shoot interview. Let's try to keep this moving. Just fun stories, fun memories.
Well, it's going to be a shoot if it comes out of mine or his mouth because we got nobody to answer to.
I just don't want to steer you down that
Thank
path.
you.
You're driving the car. I don't want to steer anybody down a wrong path. This is for Mary Jo Pernetti. To Mary Jo, we got King Haku Bobby Heenan. Also for Mary Jo, we got Skinner.
All right, Mary Jo.
All right, Mary Jo. What? Good morning, Mary Jo.
80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in black, please. Handsome Ian showing
Thank
up.
you, thank you.
80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in. We're going to be here till at least 5 p.m. Later on, I'm going to be with Skinner and Haku for the next hour and 45 minutes. Then Nikos Rikos is going to take over with the Orient Express. And then we'll be back with Jake the Snake Roberts at 2 p.m. Get those orders in now. The online store is jamming. Tommy Fierro is going to have to get a carpal tunnel.
Yeah, you better.
For what?
You better get these orders in today, because ain't no telling how much longer I'm going to be alive. I mean, you know.
God forbid.
Mary Jo, thank
He's going to be
you.
alive 100 years, but
Why?
this might be my
Why do you have to make fun of the fat people? Just because we eat to live, it doesn't mean that, you know.
I'm feeling weak.
This is for Giannis Grease to Giannis. For Mr. Skinner right there.
Giannis.
And here we have Aaron Herbert in
Lucked
Louisiana.
in,
That's
Giannis.
Aaron, that's black.
You got one of the last Skinners.
Aaron Whited wants to know, still want to know if Haku ever played cards with Andre, and did Andre really cheat?
Well, there's a question.
No, I never play
Giannis.
card with him, you know. He always find the people with money, you know, so we know.
Colt Campbell from Pennsylvania for Skinner.
I can give you a bit of facts.
Go for it.
Well, I guess that would be facts. People don't know one of the inside things about Andre the Giant. Terrified of water. He was terrified of swimming or falling in the water. And one night I went to push him in a pool when we were walking by it, and he backhanded me like a bear and almost knocked me out. And he says, "Sorry, boss, no water." I said, "Brother, you could sit down in the swimming pool and your head would still be above water." He was terrified of being pushed in the pool or falling in water or whatever.
Wow.
Well, when you're that big, maybe you just don't learn how to swim.
That's it.
Aaron, thank you. Louisiana. Aaron from Louisiana.
There you go. Now we got Bill Dismaris in Warwick, Rhode Island. That's on deck for Skinner.
Skinner.
And
There you go, Cole Cabana. I know you always wanted him out.
boom, boom.
Kayfabing your name on here. No, this is Cole Cabana.
I know a guy named Mike from Howell who does that too. He kayfabes his name a lot.
He was actually in FCW for a short time, but he didn't think he needed to be there, so
Oh, jeez. All right, that was a shoot.
it's going to get worse.
Which, by the way, I got to say, I did love the FCW documentary on the WWE Network. I thought I was aware of a lot of the stuff that went on, but that documentary really shed some light on things. And
Well, thank you very much. It only took 5 hours sitting in my living room to film me for about 20 minutes. I was all right.
Josh Greenblatt in Iowa to Josh and Alyssa in black. Andre and Haku right there.
There you go, Bill.
Ivan Santos says, any complaints about Virtual Mania, send them to Haku.
Is this Bill DeMont? No, that's not Bill DeMont. That's Des Messinas. There you go. There you go, Bill.
Joe Brown has a question for both of you. He says, was there an athlete or celebrity that you guys met that you were starstruck by when you met them for the first time?
Me, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I met Muhammad Ali really, I don't want to drag this out too much and kill your time. I met Muhammad Ali first time in Miami Beach Convention Center. And he was like the champ at the time, and he slipped in the back, and he was in incognito, like he had jeans on, and a t-shirt, and a baseball cap on. And he wanted to talk to Thunderbolt Patterson and Dusty. And I asked Dusty, you know, about what he talked about. He talked about the psychology of being the good guy and being cocky and arrogant. And the real psychology there really switched not only our pattern in wrestling, but the boxing pattern, that if you talk the talk, but then you ended up walking the walk. Like if you ran your mouth and then you ended up winning, you were the good guy. It was an automatic thing. But when I was starstruck is when I hid under the ring in Detroit for Hogan and Flair's match and came out from under, there was a cage drop down, and came out from under with a black suit on, and I beat everybody to death with a steel rod. And then I walked back through the curtain and handed it to Eddie Leslie, who was Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and he came out like he'd been under that ring. But I was notorious for being under the ring for hours and stuff like that. But I was starstruck by Muhammad Ali.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, just to me, he was the GOAT of boxing, and I just sat there. The only thing was when I had him sign something, he was signing, and as he signed, he just kept signing. He started signing his name again, and I had to pull it out from under him. He was going to sign it twice, but I was amazed at his career.
Yeah, no, and an icon for...
The rest of those people I met were jabronis, but...
There's only one Muhammad Ali. This one's for John Soltez. There's for Skinner.
Thank you. In black, John.
80s
Charles
wrestling.
and Elisa.
I'm sorry.
Right there, thank you. Sorry about that.
No, don't. You don't have to apologize for anything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry from now till we're done with this. 80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in for Haku and Skinner, as well as Orient Express and Jake the Snake Roberts, who are coming up later. Right now, this one's for Don Simmons in St. Louis, Missouri. We were just talking a lot about St. Louis on Monday night when we had Cowboy Bob Orton here. Thank you for everybody who participated in that signing with Bob Orton and Craig
Well,
DeGeorge.
he was a great talent.
Oh, phenomenal.
Cowboy Bob Orton. I worked a lot with him in Florida in my early life, and he taught me a lot in the ring.
Just, sorry, but I just
no.
heard also.
Hey, you
his
keep
younger
asking
brother.
why we say we're sorry so much. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
most misused phrase in the wrestling business. Usually it's when you're hurting somebody and you go, oh, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. So we just get used to saying it all the time.
That's fine.
I just kissed them and tell them I'm sorry. Did I bite your nose or whatever?
You kiss them, then bite their nose off. That's nice. You lure them in with a false sense of security, and then you go for
But
the
his brother, his younger brother, Barry,
Barry.
Barry,
you right?
yes,
Just
yeah.
passed.
Yep, he
this
passed
past
away on
week.
Just
Saturday.
passed
Yes, it was.
He passed away last Saturday, and then
Last
Bob was
Saturday.
here with us on Monday.
to Don.
Oh wow.
James Phillips in Norristown, Pennsylvania. That's for Haku right there. And then we got Andy Olinsky in Mount Prospect, Illinois for Skinner.
Illinois.
Jeremy Gibson says, all the 80s Wrestling Con signings are awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jeremy, for supporting. Thank everybody who's been supporting it. Also, don't forget, share this video stream. I believe, and I haven't confirmed this with production, but I believe we're going to be doing 3 separate streams for each of our guests. So right now we got Skinner and Haku. Then we got Orient Express.
James, thank you.
And then, of course, Jake the Snake Roberts. So share those
Andy.
streams. Get the word out.
Andy, is that Olenowski?
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it.
I wonder if that's Steve Olenowski's son. I know everybody.
Aaron White, it says, Haku still looks amazing, aging like a real pro. So there you go. You were putting yourself down before. This guy says you look amazing.
Thank you very much.
That makes me feel really good.
Let's try to keep the compliments on an even level today, guys. All right?
Yeah,
This
we
is for
didn't even scream that stuff, Ron.
David
I don't
Cartwright.
mind.
There you
I don't
go.
mind.
Skinner, David Cartwright.
A guy that looks like that, what do you think I'm insulted?
Chris Getzad in Denver, Colorado. King Haku with Bobby the Brain. Lido, good question. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. I do have to get to a few more signings. The questions are coming in. And, you never know what you're going to get.
David Cartwright.
There's always different personalities and whatnot. These guys are fun. They like to talk. I like to talk. So we do have business to attend to, though. So I will get to some of your questions that I'm skipping right now.
To Chris, Denver, Colorado. Stay warm, bro.
That question you just skipped, somebody else telling him how good he looked.
Now, any physical compliments I'm going to get to.
I'm starting to think you're sucking up to him. Right?
Well, don't get me wrong. You could beat me up too, but he could beat me up worse. So.
Oh, no. When I got into wrestling, I thought it wasn't real. But I started in Florida, and Eddie Graham beat me to death for 6 months. My dad was a prisoner in Vietnam, And the only person home was my mom, and I'd come home and my mom would go look at me and I'd have mat burns from head to toe. And she'd say, I thought wrestling was fake. And I said, yeah, I did too. I said, I don't know what I'm learning, but I'm getting the crap beat out of me every day at the sportatorium, and I'm too embarrassed to quit now. So
That's awesome.
that was just the way he broke you in, though.
Yeah, well, that's why the business isn't what it used to be. Sly Fitzenko. Sly Fitzenko.
Well, I can agree with that.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. 'Cause I would've-
Too sly.
And this one is for Rich in nearby Dumont, New Jersey, Rich Melber. So he's probably watching this home in bed on this rainy Sunday Jersey morning.
Is it raining out there?
Wake up!
Started. Rich Melber in Dumont, New Jersey.
There you go, Sly. You know, I was expecting the weather to be bad up here, but when I called yesterday, it was said it was beautiful.
Yeah, you can never really rely on what's going on up here weather-wise.
Yeah, and plus, a lot of you guys lie. I mean, you know, oh yeah, it's beautiful up here. You don't need a jacket.
Matt Stevens in Taylor, South Carolina for
Okay.
Skinner. There we go. Sorry to reach behind
That's
you there.
okay. Hey, Matt.
Okay, Rich. We are from Florida coming over here to New Jersey. Looking forward to have some bagel here. Supposed to be the best. Oh, you better wake up.
Thank you for that, because I was falling asleep. So, that's perfect.
Before I walk
Back
into
up.
your bedroom there and then I wake you up. There we go.
And I want to apologize in advance to this person because I actually double-checked the pronunciation of their name, and I forgot it already after I got the double-checking. So it's Catalea Menard from Massachusetts.
Got a spell check off the camera right there.
The guy who brought us the bagels is also our grammar expert here. And then Eric Winderman in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania for Skinner.
I don't have to spell Conshohocken.
No, definitely not.
Okay, good. Just signature. Thank you, Eric.
Thorsten Fritz and a few others were asking Skinner about memories of being the second Doink the Clown at WrestleMania 9.
That was a bad idea, wasn't it?
I liked it. I thought it was
Well,
very
it was
well done.
actually my idea, so I'm just telling you. It was,
Oh, okay.
I came up,
Thank you, Catalea.
I saw Skinner turn it into a job guy, and been in the business long enough that I was like, you probably ain't even gonna know this name, but I was a Lon Chaney Jr. of wrestling. If things weren't going my way, I just changed my face, I changed, bleached my hair, grew a beard, whatever, and I would just change characters. And I came up with an idea for Vince, and at that time we kind of bullied Vince. It was at the very beginning, you know, and Vince wasn't even allowed in the dressing room when I first went to the Gardens with Dusty. And anyway, so long story short, I said, hey, I got an idea for you. I didn't say Skinner's taking a crap, but I said, now that, you know, things are changing, what do you think about me becoming a second Doink and hiding under the ring at WrestleMania and coming out at the right time? And he looked at me and he just goes, are you on drugs? And I go, well, not exactly right now, but I have been. I mean, you know, and he goes,
I have been.
he goes, well, you know, that's a funny idea, but that'll never work. And he didn't even contact me until the night before WrestleMania when I was at Caesar's Palace. I wasn't even on the card. And he said, I'm going to go for your idea. Well, I'd given him about 100 ideas, so I wasn't sure which one it was. And then he said, just show up down to makeup at about 3 hours before the show. And I went down there, they shaved the Skinner beard off, painted my face, put me under the ring, loaded me a little early, but put me under the ring. Anyway, and it became a curse. And here's the curse. I had kids in school, and they respected Skinner, their friends, because they were terrified of that guy. But then when I became the second Doink, all of a sudden my kids are Doink at school and all the different things that comes with brutality. But
No.
and then plus, I went from a guy that when as a fabulous one, I had to get all made up. My hair had to be just right, what was left. I had to have the bow tie on straight before I went out. When I was Skinner, I just laid on the floor, and when they said you're on, I'd put a big mouthful of licorice in, drink some water, and walk out the door. It was like a dream come true. And then from there, I went to Doink, and it took me an hour to paint my face. And I'm going, man, what happened to my life? It was so easy.
Taught you never to give more ideas to the boss. There you go, Tyler in Hanover, Pennsylvania for Skinner. But I must say that was very well done, especially with Bobby Heenan and Jim Ross at ringside with Macho Man going, "It's an optical illusion." I mean, that was very
the funny part, Ryan, was in the dressing room. Nobody could figure out who it was. All the boys are looking. The Nasty Boys are going, "Who is that? Who's that?" And they're all looking at each other. Who's missing? Who's missing? They never thought about me.
And in
Because I
Vegas,
had the
it's easy
big
to get
beard,
lost.
you know what I mean? And then when I came in, then it was on then because me and Matt worked with the boys. He played cards, but he smoked, and he was left-handed. And he'd be playing cards, get up, go out that door, and tell me, go in there and play my hand. So I'd walk in, and they wouldn't know it was me if I didn't open my mouth. And I'd take his cigarette up with his left hand, and I'd hold it, and I'd play his hand of cards, and I'd go out that door, and Matt would come back in this door. So it was really entertaining in the dressing room.
What a time. Jason Osborne in Farmington, Minnesota. That's for King Haku right there. '80swrestlingcon.com. Keep those orders coming in. Get them in now.
There you go, Tyler.
Please feel free to leave comments or memories. We're going to slow down a little bit with the questions, guys, because we have a lot of signings to get to. But if you have any
What are you
comments...
trying to say? That Steve is talking too much?
Oh, no, I'm not saying
Yeah.
Steve.
Just say it, you know.
Hey, well, when you're the ugliest guy sitting at the table, you might as well be doing something.
Well, because you know
right?
what it is, and I would never want to insult, but like, you know, people ask questions where they'll go, "Why weren't you booked at this pay-per-view?" And you might not even know the answer to that. So I'm trying to just...
I'll make up a good one.
Jason, thank you.
You know,
Excuse me.
Mike McDonald in Canada for Skinner, and Sly Fitzenko for Haku.
Just
Don't forget, guys, we have those Monday night virtual signings. Also, check out the Wrestling Collector Superstore, which just opened up in North Jersey. You can follow them on Instagram. Go to @80swrestling for more information. You can follow me at Ryan Marr Comedy. Follow @80swrestling. That's where this all kind of started from all the support on Instagram, which led to 80s Wrestling Comedy.
Oh, Sly. There you go. You got your sign.
McDonald. No, Mike McDonald. Canada.
Canada.
Oh, I used to hate to see that when we went there. Well, the reason we didn't like to work in Canada was the money, the difference in the money. You know, you were getting paid
Exchange.
75 cents on the dollar or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't a lot of fun. Plus, it's cold.
Oh, very cold. Makes Jersey feel like paradise. Dennis Grinnell, our buddy Dennis, he's a regular. That's a Colossal Connection right there. And then we got Peyton and Archer in the United Kingdom for Skinner. There you go. Got some fans in the UK, the Alligator Man does.
Two Peyton and Archer.
80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in. We're here all day for Virtual Mania. This all kind of started because the original in-person 80s Wrestling Con had to take a little sabbatical due to COVID and the pandemic. But we were able to change gears, bring you these virtual signings, which then became Monday Night Virtual, bringing you some of the best wrestling talent from not just the 80s, but the 90s and 2000s. And now here we are with Virtual Mania, the first one, all day long.
To Peyton and Archer in the United Kingdom.
This was originally supposed to be the original WrestleMania date.
Thank you, Dennis. Right here. Excuse me.
Louis Flores in San Jose, California for King Haku. And, of course, we have Corey Walker in Spring Hill, Tennessee, the Walker Museum. There you go, Skinner.
Man, he's got a museum named after him?
I believe that's what they call, like, their man cave or family cave. They call it the...
Oh.
Yeah, they order from a lot of the talent that we've had
I got
over
you.
these virtual signings. I'm just assuming that if you're what... Ian, are you okay, buddy? Are you okay?
Yeah.
You need some coffee?
No, I got right here.
Alright.
I'm all good.
If the Walker family is watching, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's their man cave section of the house.
Louis Flores, thank you.
All right, Aaron Hebert in Cutoff, Louisiana, but it's to Damien Bust. I love when the fans have gimmick names. That's good. You're freaking me out, man.
I'm trying to even them out so much, you know.
That's
To the Walker Museum,
no,
Spring
no,
Hill, Tennessee.
That's fine. We'll make it work. All right, this is for Jonathan Golemasiewski. Golemosewski. How'd I do? And it's a picture of Skinner with a side headlock on the late great Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
I sent that picture to his daughter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Natty.
she's a hell of a talent.
Yeah, she's awesome. Blue.
All right, Josh Niner in Louisville, Kentucky. King Haku.
It looks like Jim the Anvil Neidhart just told me a joke or something. I can't figure out the expression.
Wait, that's red. Is that red or blue? Okay, that's okay.
You're very antsy
Are you
today.
checking me?
You're very antsy. You gonna make it the 8 hours?
I should.
80swrestlingcon.com. Send Ian Levy your well wishes.
There you go,
He's getting
Jonathan.
very, very anxious, and
There
it's
you go,
freaking me out.
Jonathan. Haku's going to pronounce your last name for me.
Corona Bajuhaluleski.
See?
Sounded perfect to me.
Right on it.
All right, this one is Mike from Howell. Mike from Howell in red. Mike from Howell.
Red. That's not red. Okay, red. Too light.
J.R. Sanchez says the virtual signings is the best. I'm just reading it as it's written. The virtual signings is the best. You don't get these funny stories in person. No, I guess you don't, right? At the regular conventions, you just walk up, shake hands, and move right along. That is the benefit, one of the silver linings. I shouldn't call it a benefit. It's one of the silver linings of doing these virtual signings.
Charles, thank you.
Mike Howell.
Marvin Gale says, Skinner, I would have loved to have seen you and Outback Jack in a match. Some
I'd have killed that guy.
some
He
sort
was
of
horrible.
crocodile type stipulation match.
Did she ever,
Okay, yeah, right?
I don't think he ever knew an alligator. He was a gimmick, not like me.
Chris Adams in Kentucky. Chris Adams. And here we have Ryan Rispecki to Ryan for Skinner.
Ryan, you're doing really good with those names, especially the Ryan one here.
Yeah, I'm trying, because here's the thing. They're not actually seeing the spelling, so if I'm wrong, are they going to correct me? No. I mean, and if they do in the chat, I could just ignore them. Kidding, guys, kidding. 80swrestlingcon.com, get those orders in.
Chris Adams from Kentucky, thank you.
You know, nobody ever pronounced my name right in school growing up.
It's Keirn, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
But it's spelled with Keirn, which doesn't make sense. But I think it was a drunk ancestor getting off the Mayflower. And I think they said, spell your last name.
K-I-R-N.
But I went to school, high school, with Mike Graham, Dick Slater, Hulk Hogan, and who else? Austin Idol. He went to high school with us. So everybody knows what a problem I've had with my name. There you go, Ryan.
I'll share this quick little story with you, too, because this is the third time, twice off camera, where you mentioned Mike Graham. I had the pleasure of meeting him only once. We were on the dais together for the Terry Funk roast.
Okay.
And I had known Mike Graham, from watching old tapes, and of course he had that thing on the WWE network with the Legend Show. And talk about a guy that was outspoken and was not afraid of saying how he felt. So I can only imagine the two of you together in a room. How much fun.
Well, yeah, well, we actually were in biology in the 10th grade together, and they had those desks like this, where two guys sat together. And me and Mike sat in the very back of the class, right next to a terrarium that had lizards and crap in here, right? And we got in so much trouble that before the end of the year, of course, I was sitting way up there and Mike was sitting back here, but not only was he outspoken, from what people don't know, is Mike, pound for pound.
Tough man.
He was a tough man, and he wasn't afraid of anything. He wasn't afraid of getting beat up, but he would stand up to people. And I think that's why his neck was so big, is because most of the people he stood up to, he was looking at. But at the same time, I had a lot of respect for Mike because I saw him in different circumstances that people didn't see. Mm-hmm. We used to chum up sharks underwater and hit them with bang sticks, which is an explosive head on an end of a spear, and it would blow your mask off. And when you blow your mask off, the sharks are in a feeding frenzy right here. Now you can't see. And he did some of the most unbelievable stuff in my life growing up with him as a kid that I always had respect for, you know, his guts. Can I say balls?
Absolutely.
Okay, he had unreal balls. Anyway.
No, and you know, I'm friends with Shane Bigelow, the son of Bam Bam Bigelow. I feel like if you're the son of a professional wrestler, especially even before you got to WWE, you were a star in the territories. I feel like you have to be tough if you're the kid of a pro wrestler, especially back then when the business wasn't so exposed.
Yeah, if your dad owned it.
Yeah.
Not just a second generation wrestler, but your dad was a promoter, and Eddie Graham had a ton of respect.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
so you had to be tough.
Yeah.
We have a fan from Germany. He's somewhat of a regular here with 80s Wrestling Con, Tim Beyer, and that is for Skinner. And
Is that Dick Byer's son?
Do you know him?
Peyton and Archer in the United Kingdom for King Haku and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
No, I see it. See, that's why you're here, right? He's catching me on the colors. I think it would have come out better in black, but I'm not going to say that, Tim.
Ben Cinco says, loving the really entertaining stories from Skinner. That's what it's all about, 80swrestlingcon.com. Share these videos, guys, and then don't forget, in the next couple days, if you go to 80swrestlingcon.com, all of these virtual signings are available to watch in their entirety. We just had Cowboy Bob Orton this past Monday night. I'm not sure if that's up on the website yet. It is. I'm being told that it is, so check that out. With Bob Orton and Craig DeGeorge this past Monday night. That was a lot of fun.
Bob Orton was on Raw.
He was on our. We have a Monday night virtual,
Oh, okay.
so we do the signings here.
To Peyton and Archer.
If I said Raw,
UK, I believe.
there you go.
Thank you.
This one is for Sissy Hall in South Carolina. Sissy, which was my nickname in community college. Sissy Hall right there for Haku. And we have for Andreas in Germany for Skinner. A lot of European fans of Skinner.
Well, I was a smash in Europe.
There you go. So was David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Doug Myers, for both of you, do you guys remember wrestling at the Metro Center in Rockford, Illinois?
Rockford, Illinois. Yes, I remember.
Yes. A few times that we worked there. Yeah. WWF
Usually
days.
it was Rosemont Horizon, wasn't that far from Rockford, so, you know, but every once in a while. I worked for Vern Gagne, AWA in Rockford, Illinois,
okay.
too.
Yeah.
All right. Andy in Grand Canyon, Arizona for Haku.
There you go, Andreas. Thank you very much.
And for Skinner, this one is in silver. You got the silver. Brennan McIntyre. Brennan McIntyre. Got to make sure these markers are all correct. Staying on top of that.
That's what that dude right there is doing. Is making sure I got the right
well,
color.
Ian Levy's playing with action figures right now. But when he comes back, I'm just playing. We got to have fun with each other today. We're going to be here all day long for you, the fans. 80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in right now. Orient Express will be coming up following Skinner and Haku. Nikos Rikos will be taking over for that one. And then I'll be back at 2 p.m. with Jake the Snake Roberts.
Grand Canyon. Andy, thank you.
Good friend to 80s Wrestling Con, Lowell Reed in Middleburg, Florida. King Haku.
From home. He can just.
So I got a Patrick Tanaka story for the Orient Express later on. You guys can call in and ask him about this. Patrick Tanaka was a little kid in high school, and Mike Graham and I were close by in South Tampa, and one day he calls Mike and says, "Can you come over and help me get my boat started?" So Mike and I went over to, actually Duke Kiyomoko, Pat's dad, went over to his house, and Patrick's out there sweating, trying to get the boat cranked, and he's got this pretty little girl with a hot body sitting on the dock. And so Mike's looking at him and he goes, "Well, what are you trying to get the boat started for?" And Tanaka's going like this to her. And he goes, "Was your dad home? I need some tools." And he goes, "My dad's not home." And he goes, "Was your mom home?" And he goes, "My mom's not home either." He goes, "Well, why are we trying to start the boat?" Ask Tanaka about that. I don't know if he'll remember.
What's that? Okay.
Oh, thank you. From Florida. Hey, from home.
There you go.
You can stop by and get a picture there or something.
There you go. Chris Cooper for Skinner in silver, 2 Coop. Just want to let the fans know it's coming from the boss. We're going to be holding up on questions for a little bit, so don't type them out. Save them. We're going to get through with these signings, and then we'll go back to some comments and questions. This one is to Jesse Rocha in Canada for
Canada.
Haku.
Yeah, it's me. I talk too much.
No, it's
But
not
that's
you.
what coffee does to me. You don't even want to have me in the morning.
No, don't hold
Get
it.
me in the afternoon, and I'm pretty laid back, and I probably won't say nothing.
You can talk as much as you want. I'm just letting people know for the questions
No,
if they don't get asked.
You can correct me too.
No, I'm not doing
Zip
that.
it, Skinner.
I like the stories. That's what we're here for.
Zip it, Skinner.
Patrick Reitz. Patrick Reitz.
I've been around too long. So that's why you need to get these today.
Oh, sorry.
Might not be here next
Oh,
week.
please stop saying that.
Jesse, thank you.
Alligator season opens, and I'm a little old to be out there.
Oh, so you're still,
All
doing,
right.
you're still doing that, huh?
You better be around, the grandchildren.
Hey, there's nothing more exciting than to be in the middle of the Everglades with a little spotlight on your hat. And it's different. You can't kill an alligator with a weapon other than a bang stick. And to try to hit one in the dark, and then the exciting part is you got to jump in and grab him because he'll sink to the bottom. So you're jumping in, not sure if you killed him, and you're trying to put a 12-foot, probably 900-pound thing into your boat. And so yeah, it's exciting.
It sounds like it. It sounds anxiety-inducing as well. So let me know how that works out for you. God bless you. To Jack and Aaron Whited, Haku and Andre right there. That's in red, my friend.
Thank you.
Audrey Lonsinger says, "This is great. Love these guys. Best virtual signing yet." Thank you, Audrey.
There you go,
we love
Patrick.
You too.
Now see, that's how you get me to sign more stuff. Don't put over Haku so good looking or whatever. I mean, just say we're being nice.
There you go. All right. And
Could be the last 3 or 4 I sign in my lifetime.
You're worse than my grandmother, Skinner.
Hey,
I
you
gotta
know
tell
what?
you. Don't we think she's dying?
I look at it as like it's a collector thing. When I'm dead, this is going to be a lot more valuable.
Aaron Karpinka in Canada, silver too.
I know I'm supposed to shut up. But
No, you're not supposed to shut up. You're not supposed to.
Take
shut
Ellen.
up.
Thank you.
A couple years ago, when my gram died, his daughter came to me, Nicole, and says, "Well, is any of this stuff my dad and grandpa collected worth anything? Old magazines, pictures from Japan, anything?" I said, "Did he sign any of it?" And she goes, "No." And I said, "No, it's not worth anything." But then it all of a sudden gave me this idea, and I'm giving this idea to you too. Sign everything I have. I collected every wrestling magazine I was ever in my entire life. It was like it was like an honor to all of a sudden be be notarized that you had done something. So I signed everything. So everything at my house is signed in case I die. My grandkids are going to have something that's at least signed.
Yeah.
So sign your stuff. You don't ever think as a wrestler or a celebrity to sign your own stuff.
Yeah.
But I signed everything now.
And like you said, if you want that memorabilia, you can go to the Wrestling Collector Superstore, which just opened in North Jersey. So maybe Skinner should talk to Tommy Fierro afterwards.
Okay.
Maybe Tommy would be interested in purchasing some of that signed memorabilia. Another one for Mike from Howell. King Haku, Mike from Howell.
Keeping an eye on me,
80swrestlingcon.com.
right?
All good.
Get those orders in. We are here all day for Virtual Mania. We're right now with King Haku / Meng, Skinner, Steve Keirn, founder of the Fabulous Ones, along with Sweet Stan Lane. They're going to be here till 11:30. Then we got the
Jim
Orient
Dan's
Express.
Neidhart. He let me put this headlock on him, by the way. I couldn't do that.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Craig Wilbur for Skinner. Craig Wilbur.
Black.
Aaron Whited says, I feel really guilty for saying Haku looked good, so here's a Skinner compliment. I have your Hasbro figure on my desk. There
That's
you go.
not really a compliment.
John
That means
Soltez
you
for
just
King
bought my
Haku.
damn figure. You have a fabulous one. I was really cute then.
Actually, speaking of the devil here.
But thanks for trying to make me feel better. I was almost going to cry.
I actually have this Hasbro figure of Skinner myself, but I played with
Yeah.
mine. It's not in the box.
I can't tell you how many I've got.
And you play with it?
And you know what? I go over every time. I haven't lost since I've had a figure.
I don't blame you.
Those first figures came out in AWA. It was us and tag teams, and it was against the Road Warriors. I beat those Road Warriors relentlessly in the car. There he is.
John,
Is that the AWA
thank
figure?
you.
There it is.
Now, that company, Remco, I believe they're out of New Jersey, right? Or were out of New Jersey. Netflix did a great documentary called The Toys That Made Us, and they talked about the wrestling action figures.
I went to Toys R Us when these came out, and I went and pulled the whole rack out and bought every one plus about 5 rings. I still have them. I just had Stan sign the dolls and the rings.
So there we have from the Fabulous Ones, and then here we have the Skinner Hasbro.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is for Chris Karcher.
Look
Still
at that.
mint. Still mint.
Look at that. Hey, Mike. Look at that.
All
Isn't that
right.
nice?
Nice, very
Want
nice.
one?
Especially,
Do you want one?
you're gonna give me this one, yeah.
No, I'm gonna sell it to you. I'm not gonna give it.
Sorry, Chris Kirshner. Kirshner? Is that Kirshner? Oh, yeah,
I'll cut you a deal. You got $1,000?
yeah.
Okay. Boy, I gotta pay attention. I'm sorry.
Ray Rodriguez for King Haku. Ray Rodriguez for King.
See, when you slip away and go put those over, I might slip a different colored pin in than I'm supposed to. Look, flat on my back. Stan didn't want to sell.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out and you're a fan of the action figures, Netflix, The Toys That Made Us, there's an episode dedicated to just specifically to pro wrestling action figures, covering everything from the LJN days with WWE, Hasbro, Jax, Remco, the whole nine.
Chris, there you go, buddy.
Rodriguez. Thank you. These two here talk too much. I tried to just say thank you, and I can't.
Haku's got a case of the sillies today. Bill D. Michelle.
What do you mean?
I
Just sign and shut up?
No.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't tell you.
Something's wrong with this coffee. What do you guys put in our coffee?
It was made with love. And to think I almost smoked before we did this. I'm glad I didn't.
Do you smoke pot?
Yeah.
Oh, do you really?
We'll talk after.
Can you? Well, it's legal now.
Yeah, I mean,
20 years
technically.
ago, I couldn't have this conversation.
In
but it's
Florida,
still the
maybe,
same.
but not here in New Jersey.
Yes,
This is New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Back home, yes.
All right, we got for
Did you bring
Garrett.
some?
We got for Garrett.
I brought edibles, but I hadn't ate them all.
Bill, thank you.
Why do you think I went to my room? By the way? I didn't know it was going to take this long to get here from the airport. I was going, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have Garrett Unruh, and these are Wrestling All-Star action cards. Trading cards. That's what happens when you mix action figures and trading cards. You get
As
action.
I said, they talk too much, they forgot what they're talking about.
There you go.
Now look at that good-looking devil there, right there, buddy. See? Why did I think I shouldn't be Skinner? Tom Cruise. Oh, where's Tom Cruise? Nah, never mind.
Bill D.
Keanu Reeves of wrestling.
Oh, man. 80swrestlingcon.com. We are having too much fun, but isn't fun the greatest thing to have? Get those orders in. Thank you, Ian, keeping it real. We have a ragtag staff working hard for us.
Please, somebody can buy this thing and get it out of here, please.
Here's your cards.
Keanu Reeves of wrestling.
Keanu Reeves at Point Break. Sweet. Utah, give me 2.
Even you, Keanu. Keanu Reeves, please buy this thing because we believe in you.
This one's going quick, right here.
Oh, man.
Remember, I might not be around this time next year.
Stop saying that, for fuck's
Well,
sake.
that's how
I mean, I'm
you
sorry
end
for
up.
cursing.
I used to say I wasn't going to go bald either, so that didn't happen. So here I
All
am now
right, to
saying
Nick
I
Legend.
might not be around much longer, so you want to get these. I'm not one of those guys that lives to be 100.
You're going to be just fine. Nick Legamba. Oh, I'm sorry. You have one right there.
Well, the
So now we're
70s and
mixed up.
80s were really good to me.
Skinner, do me a favor. Sign your action figure. All right. 80swrestlingcon.com.
Bill, thank you.
Bubba Call says, best signing yet. Love seeing the guests having fun.
Well, that's because I love this guy.
Because I
I don't know
love
about Ryan, but I
Yeah,
love
we
him.
just met.
I know him all this year. All of a sudden, he become Keanu Reeves now
then-
because he have a lot of hair.
Then Mike met me in the lobby and told me I was his first match.
Yeah.
He said I was nice to him, too.
You know what blew my mind about that? Ace Starling Mike. I've known him 20 years.
Hey, Mike, come over here and get in this picture. These people don't believe what I'm saying.
His
They think I'm
first
saying
match.
good.
His first match was a WWF Superstar Series. I've known him 20 years. I didn't know that.
Did you know it was me?
I knew that he wrestled you, but I didn't know that
Not
his first match was
his
with
first match.
Yep,
And he said I was nice to him. Look, I put him on camera to make sure that I backed that story up. My friends are going, that's bullshit right there.
Well, you know, it is.
I can't say that either.
No, you can say what you want, but it is mind blowing. I mean, we have
careful,
Nikos.
Oh,
Ricos-
boy.
We have Nikos
He just
Ricos
opened it up.
and Vicious Vicky here. They're independent wrestlers on their way up, very talented. But think about that. I mean, they've been wrestling for a couple of years each. Your first match ever is a WWE taping. I mean, I'd be horrified. So I did not know that was his first match ever. That's pretty mind blowing.
Throw that one away.
Haku, nice meeting y'all. Yeah.
You'll meet them, but they're gonna be here. Nick Legamba. Nick Legamba.
That sounds like somebody from Fiji.
Somebody from Fiji.
Yeah.
Legamba.
Nick Lakemba. Lakemba.
There you go, Mark.
Jimmy Snuka Lakemba from Lakemba, island of Lakemba.
Yeah. I'm
See,
not-
you're starting to talk more now. Don't you feel better? Get it off your chest. Tell them how you really feel, like you told me in the lobby.
Anthony Hall. Anthony Hall for Skinner, the Hasbro action figure.
So what do you think? Same guy? Really? Got no balance.
Aaron White at best con ever. Oh my God, I'm cry laughing. That's what we like to see.
Silver.
80swrestlingcon.com.
Hey, I'm going to
Get
warn
those
him.
orders
Should I
in.
warn him? Hey, Tommy, should I warn him?
It's not on the top of the black skin.
It's,
Use red then.
I know a lot of silver. They want silver, but it doesn't show up as good.
Use red. Red's good.
I don't, okay.
All right.
Didn't even show up right down
Yeah,
there.
so what, use red on this one?
Yes.
You said, yeah, just go with the red.
We got so many great signings coming up. We got the ECW signing coming up. We got
Yeah, I mean,
Shane
I don't
Douglas,
know.
Rob Van Dam. I'm
It's a
sorry, not Rob Van
one-time
Dam, Jerry
shot
Lynn.
coming down
I don't know. Names are just starting to flow
That's
now.
right.
We have a lot of great signings coming up. 80swrestlingcon.com.
Yeah,
Nick Legamba.
sorry, executive.
Buluwinakanakalevu. All the way from Fiji.
Anthony.
And Dustin Dubuque, he just took half the box and said, screw it, just sign that. So there you
Dubuque.
go. Dustin Dubuque for Skinner.
Dubuque.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, is that
Okay.
yeah, he always has great magazines and stuff.
All right, Ron, I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused. Am I signing it to him, or what color? Or
I think we're just gonna do a
this was
signature.
like no direction.
Nick Lagamba says thank you.
I'll check button for you.
Kyle
Just gonna do a
James, Ryan,
signature.
are you hosting all the signings today? Well, I'm going to be with Skinner and Haku till 11:30. Then Nikos Rikos is going to take over with the Orient Express, and then I'll be back with Jake Roberts at 2 o'clock. So it's Nikos, myself. I believe Vicky will be a part of it as well. So 80swrestlingcon.com. We are going to be here all day. I believe it's going to be 3 separate streams. So come back and keep refreshing as the afternoon continues. This is for Bubba Call, and that is.
That might be part of that box that you just showed me.
No, that was for a
Oh.
guy named
Oh, okay.
Dustin.
That's out of the cereal box.
Just gonna be just a signature.
Just a signature.
That was when Skinner was on the
Did
cover
you
of
say
Weekly.
cereal box?
That's what he said.
I got my hearing aids in. I'm paying attention to you. Not like I could do anything, but I'm still paying attention. Just sign it.
This is for Trash Can for Haku. He wants you to sign it to Trash Can, but he spelled it with a K. I love when people get creative.
Right.
You know what? Live by your own rules. You want to spell it with a K?
That sounds like a name somebody at FCW would have gave me. What do you think about trash can? There you go, Bubba. So, well, you really want that name?
Look at this. Championship Wrestling Magazine, issue number 6. On the cover, we have Mr. Steve Keirn and Bill Dundee looking like David Cassidy. This is like a Tiger Beat magazine. Look at this. This is from Ian Levy's personal collection, I believe. Now, this is Andy Hammerlink, and he wants just the signature. There you go.
Don't say anything, right? Look how much younger I am than Bill Dundee. He was old enough to be my dad there. Bill Dundee.
80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in. Virtual Mania, we're here all day. Check out the listings for the upcoming Monday night virtual signings while you're there.
Here we go, trash can. Thank you.
Oh, this is
That's got to be a new one.
Right?
I'm going to sign the inside of your magazine, too.
Oh, look at that. A little extra bonus autograph there, courtesy of Mr. Steve Keirn. Right now,
There
we
you
got
go.
for Jamie Bowles, Haku, 2GB.
Andy?
Oh,
Can I
wow.
sign
Now,
one of yours?
Of course.
Okay.
this is actually really interesting. This is the Fabulous Ones fan club. I guess they had their own publication.
That was Stan. Stan was the president of our fan club.
Okay, but I mean, this is still pretty interesting. I mean,
No,
this
I'm
is.
just kidding you. He wasn't the president.
Well, how am I supposed to know?
Well, yeah, you don't want to believe everything that comes out of my mouth.
Hey, it's more entertaining that way. Andy Hammerlink, right there.
Well, nobody else would start one, so he started one for us. Andy. to
Cullen
Andy.
Helmick says the stories they're telling are awesome. Share the videos, share the stream, and in the next coming days, go to 80swrestlingcon.com and you can rewatch everything that goes on today.
Jamie, thank you.
Nick Lagamba sharing the feed, saying, Matthew Bennett, check this out. Absolutely. Tag
There
your
you go,
friends
Andy.
in the chat, share the feed, get the
Oh, I
word
got
out
that.
there. Haku
off the
for
front.
Toy Hunter Tim. I should say Toy Hunter Tim for Haku. There you go.
My wife hated the Fabulous Ones.
Why? Was it the Chippendales?
Well, you're a Chippendale dancer. There you go. But when I went from Chippendale to a homeless alligator poacher, she was all right.
All right. Andy Hammerlink, another one of the Fabulous Ones. I don't know if you should call it a program, a fan club publication. I don't know what the technical term should be, but there it is.
Don't forget to get your tickets for the drawing for this shirt I'm wearing.
Oh, there you go. Is that a legit thing? You're really
No,
gonna?
I just made that up. It kind of creates interest, and they want to hang on to see what the hell I'm talking about.
There you go. So from now on, whatever Mr. Skinner says, anything, I'm not going to follow up because I don't know if it's real or not. So take it for what it's worth.
It's probably your best thing. There's not a picture, just a top hat.
80swrestlingcon.com. Keep
Just
those
signature.
orders coming. Keep those comments in the chat.
Toy Hunter, thank you.
There you go, Andy.
All right, this is to Emil for Mr. Skinner.
Emil, red.
And we got silver, Haku, for Ryan Rispecki. There you go.
It's getting close to my nap time. I'm really quiet during that part.
Yeah, well, I'm sure coming from that warm Florida weather back into New Jersey is
Oh
not
man, it was 90 on the beach yesterday.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, I was in Siesta
The water's
Key.
still a little nippy except for tourists from New Jersey.
Yeah, well, I was in Siesta Key a week and a half ago, loving life.
You got in the water, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Ryan, thank you.
You guys are the only ones getting in the water.
Too cold for you?
Oh, freezing. Plus it's stingray season, you know.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, I'm going to show you a picture on my phone, whatever.
Hey, I was a Steve Irwin fan. I knows what happens.
It's getting ready to get worse now. I'm getting my phone out.
Dan Jor.
Damn.
Dan Jor for. No, that's the guy's
It's
name,
an
Dan
alligator
Jor.
cover on my phone.
Have you encountered some stingrays while you're out there wrestling
Good, I'm
alligators?
going to show you, Ryan.
Oh, all right. By all means. All right, this one
Jody
is.
Simon, the great Malenko's son's watching.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Don't say anything bad about him either. He's,
No, I've got
he's
nothing bad
second
to say
toughest
about
to
anybody.
him.
Brennan McIntyre for King Haku. Daniel Schoenman, how many different colors of ties and suspenders did the fabulous ones have?
Too many.
There you go. Simple to the point. Too many.
Yeah, I saw Tom over there giving me the, shut up.
80swrestlingcon.com.
Don't forget, I've only got a few days left on Earth.
80swrestlingcon.com.
Days.
Keep those orders coming in. Orient Express coming up next with Nikos Ricos, Jake the Snake Roberts at 2 p.m.
Brandon, thank you.
Here you go, Skinner. This is for Jumpin' Jay, co-host of the 80s Wrestling Podcast. There you go. And as he shows me, oh wow, they're right there, those stingrays. I don't know if you can see that on camera right there, but yeah, they're right there.
Yeah, they're our answer to tourists. There's a big sign on the beach that says, shuffle your feet, don't just run in the water. There's a reason.
Patrick Reitz for King Haku.
Anybody want to see a picture of my grandson naked on a tractor? It's okay, he's only 2. You thought I was kidding, didn't you? You didn't believe that.
Oh, okay. Okay. 5 minutes for last call with Haku and
What?
Skinner
5
for the,
minutes?
No, for the store. You guys are still here till 11:30, but for them to get their orders in.
To Jay.
To Patrick.
Chris Cooper. Oh,
Man, that was a quick.
Alice Cooper. You mean
Yeah, Alice Cooper.
the rockin',
Yeah, Feed My Frankenstein. No, it's Chris Cooper right there. And they're asking.
I'm fading fast, folks.
Well, they're always asking for Mr. Fuji stories, so there's been several people. I don't know if you guys have any quick Mr. Fuji stories, ribs.
I don't know if I can tell one.
While you're gathering your thoughts for that, is that for Skinner? All right, Robert Williams, the WWE Encyclopedia for Skinner. Well, he thinks of a Mr. Fuji story.
Chris Cooper, thank you.
Guido Jaramillo says, through my childhood, Haku was a badass with the look. To see him laughing is awesome. So people are getting to see a different side
Thank you.
of Haku. And Anthony D. Simone.
I'm with Steve here. We're trying to enjoy life, whatever
That's right.
the rest is. He
Life
knows.
is to be enjoyed.
I'm not taking that edge off of him being a badass. Oh my God, Titus O'Neil, I broke him in. Wasn't that a mistake? Oh. There you go.
Anthony Desmond.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
So, Mr. Fuji. It was
Jeremy Gibson.
Jerry the King Lawler's first Royal Rumble. I want to say it was in Sacramento. And when he came in, me and Kurt Hennig were trying to figure out something to do to him.
To Judah Lawler.
Yeah, to do to Lawler. Kind of a rib, but welcome to the WWF. It was a sea of sharks back then, and he was like a minnow swimming in. And so I went to Mr. Fuji. I said, what do we do? And I can't tell you the rest of the story. Go ahead.
Jerry Gibson, thank you.
Is that the one that I think is the famous story about the crown?
That's the one about the crowd. But I never got exposed until Bobby Heenan wrote his second book. So to know the answer to this whole thing, read Bobby Heenan's second book. He stooged me off in his book.
There you go. Carter Cole in Richmond, Virginia. Carter Cole.
But it wasn't my idea. It was Mr. Fuji's.
There you go. The devious one. Being ever so devious.
This is probably my last autograph signing. They're going to go, that guy talks way too much.
Brian Lanzieri in Andover, Connecticut for Haku. Well, look, I understand the dilemma because, you know, these guys, they have to get the orders in and we're on a time schedule, but I will tell you as a host, I'm having a great time. So, but I'm not paying you, so that
You're not
it
going to
doesn't
tell us
matter
which
what I
one's
think.
the best looking, but you're going to tell us that you have a good time.
My opinion
This is the
doesn't
Carter
matter.
Cole.
Oh, speaking of Carter Cole.
Carter Cole with the World Wrestling Federation flag.
Carter Cole.
Jim Barrows says, looking good, guys, Haku and Skinner. So,
Now that's my man. I'm lucky to be alive.
Brian,
What do you want me to do?
Brian Lazieri.
Silver.
Lazieri.
He's got you
Thank you.
right up over here.
Silver.
Yes, please.
All right.
yeah, we'll get another one.
Can
Don't
you
worry
see
about it.
this? He's really stretching this out here for me. They don't want me to mess up anything. Oh man, this is really coming
He's
out.
just doing his job.
There you
Yeah,
go.
this is really
JR
coming out
Sanchez
nice.
in Houston, Texas. To JR, bow to your king. 80swrestlingcon.com. I believe we have, what, 1 minute left for an order for Haku and Skinner, right? You got about 60 seconds left to get your orders in for Haku and Skinner. Get those in now. But don't forget, you can still order for the Orient Express and Jake the Snake Roberts. We're going to be here until at least 5 p.m. today. Also, check out the list of all the upcoming Monday night virtual signings, as well as the Wrestling Collector. There's going to be some in-store, in-person signings that you're going to want to check out for that. 80swrestlingcon.com for all your information. At 80s Wrestling on Instagram. At Ryan Marr, M-A-H-E-R. Ryan Marr Comedy on Instagram. Check us all out. You guys on social media or anything like that? Or?
I'm on Facebook, but I don't know if that was a good idea. I have a picture of me catching a fish on there thinking that nobody would know that I was a wrestler.
There you go.
But I don't understand the friend thing. I'm getting friend requests from people I never heard of. And I made the mistake of accepting a few Japanese people, and then I got like a ton of Japanese people on there that write in Japanese, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with them.
Oh,
But the reason I got on is because I have grandkids, and everybody posted stuff on Facebook, and I never got to see the pictures. So,
there you go.
you know,
So in
I
other
might
words-
not be on Facebook much longer either, because I might not be alive. You better order a picture.
J.R. Sanchez, you must bow to the king.
I'm just waiting for somebody to order a picture and have it be rest in peace Skinner.
Yeah. Not
Craig
a problem.
Wilbur.
I can spell rest in peace. No, I don't complain about getting old because a lot of my friends didn't get there. So,
That is true.
you
That
know,
is true.
whatever happens, happens.
No, I mean, you guys certainly have been through a lot, more than any other industry when it comes to that. So,
I'm just blessed. Thank you, Jesus, that I can still walk.
Amen.
You see a lot of guys on walkers and in wheelchairs.
JR Sanchez says, thank you, gentlemen, for making my childhood awesome. Jeremy Gibson says, thank you guys so much for signing autographs for me. I appreciate it, and my children do too.
Well, here's a tip for somebody wanting to be in the wrestling business. If you're learning to wrestle, don't ever do a backdrop. That's my secret to being able to walk at 69. No backdrops.
There you go.
Greg, thank you.
You didn't even know that, did you?
I do backdrop.
No backdrops. It's at the top of my list of don't do this to me.
To Tony Andrews.
Between
here.
you and Hawk, the Legend of Doom, no backdrop.
No backdrops, Hawk.
To Tony Andrews, a fabulous one.
Road Warriors, all right?
To
Okay.
Emil for Haku. There you go.
So Stan and Steve were working with Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan at the Superdome in New Orleans. Never worked with them. So I said to Hacksaw, we were the heels. Whatever you do, don't call a backdrop. Well, when he started a comeback, guess what he threw me in and called? To Tony.
Oh, wow.
Backdrop! Guess who kicked Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the head? He'll tell you that story when you have him on. I was terrified of backdrops.
Emil, thank you.
80swrestlingcon.com. The store for Skinner and Haku is now closed, but you can still get those orders in for the Orient Express coming up next,
There you go, Tony.
as well as Jake the Snake Roberts. This one is for Joe Migliori. He wants you to sign it as Steve Keirn in
Steve
silver.
Keirn. The real deal.
There you
Steve
go,
Keirn.
Joe.
Jeff Kerman in DeKalb,
In
Illinois.
silver.
King Haku, to Jeff, be nice and do good. And don't bite any noses. No, I made that part up. I made that part up.
There you go, Joe.
Lefty Lou.
Steve Keirn, alias Skinner, alias Doink, alias Fabulous Ones, alias Black Angel, alias anybody you want, except for a gay guy.
Oh,
We ain't gonna be that.
okay.
I know I hurt some people's feelings, but I ain't doing that.
Oh, hey. You're entitled.
How
Everyone's
about you?
entitled to their opinions. We got
How
Giannis.
about you?
Yeah, I'm with you.
80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in for the rest of the afternoon, as well as all the upcoming Monday night virtuals. Want to thank everybody who has been supporting these signings throughout this pandemic. It's been an adjustment. We went from the original 80s Wrestling Con in-person conventions to having to adapt with the times. Hoping we can get back to some more normalcy in the coming weeks and months. But these signings are not going anywhere. We're going to keep this up.
Could get him
All
on-
right, Chef. Be nice and do good. Whatever in life you're doing. All right, thank you.
There you go. Giannis from Greece. To Giannis.
Giannis from Greece. Is this the piano player?
I think that's Yanni.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Unless the S is silent, you know.
Well, at least we have a smart one here, and we're just guessing.
No,
you
not
know.
a smart one.
Thank
I
you.
used to work at a music store. Remember those?
He started it.
Hey, we're having fun.
So you guys got any more little action figures I can play with? I can tell you. I need somebody to beat.
Going through these comments, if you have any memories, feel free to share them. We're trying to get to as many as we can. However, we are pressed for time. We have a tight schedule, and the chat is moving fast. Someone's saying, tell a story. If you've already heard stories that have been done in other interviews, save the time. Don't ask to hear them again. Just go find them. If there's anything else that you haven't heard and you have questions, feel free to ask those.
Yeah, you better ask now. You never know.
Giannis, thank you. I would love to be in your country one day before me and Steve Keirn, say goodbye to the world.
Oh my God, this is
Greece?
the most
Greece.
morbid signing of all time.
Greece.
Dennis Ward.
Hope you're not watching, but I got no interest in going to Greece.
What?
I don't want to leave the United States. I'm like Dorothy of the Wizard of Oz. Click my heels. No place like home.
Dude, Dennis.
Too far from the mall.
Angelo, do you have any Skinner Hasbros for sale? No, the action figures have been sent in by fans from all over the world and the United States. So here's what you do. You go to 80swrestlingcon.com, you check out the list of the upcoming signings. And if you have any memorabilia for any of the talent that's upcoming, find out how you can ship us your merchandise. We'll have the talent sign it and get it back to you.
Dennis Moore, thank you.
All right, Christopher Barney Castle
You don't have
in Stanley, North Carolina. This one's a big one. It's in silver. It's to Patrick, Lexi, and Baby Raylan. Take your time with that one. For Skinner, we got Eli Burgess. Simple to the point, 3 letters, E-L-I, to Eli. There you go.
Are you trying to make something out of that, Ryan? Remember who I told you I went to high school with? Well, when we graduated from Robinson High School, Tampa, Florida, you only had to spell your first and last name and you were out of there. Then straight to the wrestling business. To Eli.
That is a pretty impressive class that you were a part of there. Mike Graham, Hulk Hogan, and Skinner all in the same high school.
Austin Idol,
Oh, wow.
Dick Slater.
Same graduating class or just all in the same school at the
No,
same
it was
time?
me, Dick Slater, and Mike Graham in the same graduating class. Hulkster was 2 years behind us, and Dennis McCord or Austin Idol was 2 years ahead of us.
Wow.
But that didn't make him any smarter, believe me.
Lowell Reed says, looking good, gentlemen. Thanks for taking time for the fans.
You're welcome, but I think I'm getting heat. It's real silent in here right now. There you go, Eli. Eli.
And here we go. We got Michael Federico for Skinner.
All right, Michael.
Here we go, Patrick, Lexi, and Baby Raylan.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
I know you're not my personal waiter, but thank you. Matt Stevens in Taylor's, South Carolina. King Haku in
South Carolina.
Andrew Kala goes, sorry, I'm at church and the feed keeps cutting in and out. What do you think about that? Andrew
Palm
Kala
Sunday.
is at Sunday Mass streaming Skinner and Haku on Facebook. Peace be with you, and also with you. Lift up your hearts. We
go,
lift them
Mike.
up to the Lord. Let us give thanks to the Lord thy God, as Skinner says he'll be dead soon.
Believe me, I'm a believer. Believe me, I'm going to heaven.
Hey.
Stan might not be, but I am.
Matt Stevens, thank you.
Wasn't Stan Lane, what was the big rumor last month? He's the father of Congresswoman Lauren Boebert.
And that's only because she got elected or something. He was telling me that a couple of weeks ago in Charlotte. I think he had a paternity suit against him.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to say anything.
No, I hear you.
positive
Chris
about
Curtis for King Haku. The only reason Jim Cornette did a whole podcast about it, and he was very outspoken as usual. Thank you very much.
it. Well, Jim Cornette got a foul mouth.
I will say though, out of all the wrestlers that I had the privilege of roasting over the years, Cornette was probably the funniest one when it was his time to go up at the end and start ripping on everybody. So
Do you know where he started? He was the Fabulous One's photographer.
wow.
So for me to watch him transition over through all that he went through and then end up where he ended up, that was amazing.
That is pretty incredible. Sean McBride for Skinner. Another fabulous one's photo.
Silver.
Nate Nizzle, church is faker than wrestling. Oh boy. Kyle James, LOL, I am at a baby shower watching 80s wrestling. I hope my wife doesn't kill me.
Chris, thank you. Well, it's different nowadays, isn't it?
Yes.
The man can sit in on a
Baby shower.
baby shower.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the women, but
Maybe it's
okay.
for his wife, because I know the man's supposed to come in at the end and help carry the gifts. That's
Right,
what that,
but not sit there like one
Yeah.
of the women.
who knows?
Hey, can you say
Maybe,
this?
maybe today he feels like a
You
woman.
say
You
this
right?
intro
Hey, I
real
see you
yeah,
like
yeah.
a woman. Oh, Keith Langston
save
in
this one for
Watertown,
somebody else?
Minnesota. I feel that, yeah, Haku, everybody wants novels for Haku. So this one's to Keith and Peter at GFA Live. All hail, King Haku. Your wrist is going to be hurting, my friend.
The good thing they write it because I don't know how to spell.
All right, guys, we will, special announcement from the boss man, Tommy Fierro. If you do not get your items or photos by 11:30, they will be signed off camera. We need to switch out for Orient Express, but we assure you that if you ordered, your stuff will get signed as promised, as ordered. Bear with us, guys. 80swrestlingcon.com. Just think, a year ago, this wasn't even something we had to worry about, a virtual signing. And now we're doing Virtual Mania. We're piecing it all together. We're going to get to everybody, but we do have a lot of talent coming up. So if we do not get to you by 11:30, we promise your stuff will be signed. Besides, with all the great stories and anecdotes that you're getting, can you really complain? I don't think so. 80swrestlingcon.com.
Hey, I'll stay longer. I got nothing to do. I'll sign all this stuff.
I want to hang out with you.
I'll even sign the Orient Express's stuff if you want me to.
Oh, man. Good times. Good times. Lefty Lou, this is so amazing to see Haku, a tough dude I was a fan of. Oh, guys, you have to try to use some pronunciation and some, exclamation points and whatnot, because these comments, I'm going to just read them as they're written. This is so amazing to see Haku, a tough dude. I was a fan of Islanders with Bobby as manager. Great memories when they kidnapped Matilda. There you go.
Hey, maybe you should choke me and slam my head on the table.
And then you pick me up and suplex me right there on the...
Yeah, the people at the
With
courtyard
no cells.
Marriott
That's what it
in
is
New Jersey.
nowadays. Just high spots.
I'll get
No
called.
cells. To Keith, Peter, and Peter, all hail the king. Thank you.
There you go. Ed Vicaletti to Ed for Skinner.
That's easy.
Joe Migliori wants you in silver to sign it as Tonga Fifita. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Fifita?
Very
Perfect.
good, yeah.
There you go.
That's why I always call him Haku.
Very simple to the point. $80swrestlingcon.com. The store is closed right now
There
for
you go,
Skinner
Ed.
and Haku. We're going to get to everybody's orders, but don't forget Orient Express coming up, followed by Jake the Snake Roberts. Long day ahead of us. Kyle James, the 80s Wrestling Podcast is awesome. Yes, it is. It's climbing up the charts. Make sure you download it wherever your favorite podcasts are streamed.
Joe Migliori, thank you.
Guys, certain questions I'm not going to ask because if you come off with something where you're insulting somebody, I'm not going to ask these guys to insult somebody. So just
Why
ask the question.
I'm the Don Rickles of wrestling. I spent most of my time insulting people.
Well, I'm not going to read the question, and you can respond however you want.
Hero's one of my favorites. Hey, fatso, how many seats did you pay for? Your ass is in 2 seats. Give me an usher over here.
Oh, there you go.
Isn't this how they get paid in Oregon, the old days? That's what I heard, Goddamn boys, Don used to say, you guys...
It's not what you make, it's what you save.
Yeah. Well, the
Promoters
thing...
used to tell us things like that.
Yes.
Well, but and even when you watch back, nowadays with cancel culture and everything like that, I mean, the commentators, the things they used to say about faces and heels and stuff like that, like nowadays that would never even fly. So it's so much harder, I think, to get heat as opposed to back then, because like you would say that to a fan back
When
then.
I was an agent, you want to hear some good stuff? Boy, I got all kinds of... When I was
Fernando
an
Berry
agent,
for Haku, but yes, go ahead.
Vince used to say, we don't want them to do anything to break the rules. And I'm thinking, as an agent, well, how are they supposed to be heels then? But I wasn't brave enough to ask that question publicly, so... But you're right. I mean, the psychology as a teacher of wrestling for so many years, the idea is to upset the audience, get them in emotionally, not by movement. Wrestling should be done by emotion, not fancy moves. If I see another moonsault where a guy lands on 10 guys on the floor, I mean, it's like that kind of stuff. We never even had things like that. But the only difference is when we went out there, we knew the finish, but we didn't know for the first 30 minutes what we were doing. It was ad lib. Now it's memorization. They memorize a 5-minute match for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And as an agent, I'd go to whoever I had for TV, and I'd say, well, what are you guys going to do? And they would give me a list of things. Like, only got 5 minutes.
No.
But, you know, they really truly believe it's about being able to do a fancy move, but you get a golf clap for that. In other words, the audience goes,
And if I hear one more Mark podcast co-host or whatever talk about, oh, work rate, like what? It doesn't make any sense. Psychology, tell a story. I was watching WrestleMania 6 last night before doing this today. You know, and again, Andre the Giant, everybody talks about WrestleMania 3, how he was 3 years later teaming with you. It was a great match because you utilized what you had in the ring, what the guy could do. Right. And that finish where, you know, you kicked Andre because Smash moves out of the way. It's very simple. You know, nowadays it's like, oh, he's hurt. He can't do 5-6 flips. And it's just, I don't know, it's very different. And it's not as enjoyable.
Yeah.
keep buying.
Fernando, thank you.
I'm going to stop talking.
80swrestlingcon.com. Here we go. Speaking of kicks, we got that kick to Hulk Hogan's midsection. Matt Stevens. A lot of people are asking what it was like for both of you to work with Hulk Hogan.
I like Hulk Hogan. I grew up with him. You know, people get the misconception by what other people say, but when you're on the top, that's the loneliest spot of the whole place because everybody's wanting to kick you off the ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so for whatever it's worth, I mean, you know, I'm close friends with him to this day. I mean, we just went shooting guns the other day, and he's a great guy. He's suffered a lot. He almost died in September, and so...
I heard that. That wasn't really put out there. I know
he's had a real awakening in life, and he's like me. We're not angels, but, you know, we're asking for forgiveness in our life for a lot of things. And, you know, I get more upset when somebody says something bad about him than I do when somebody says something good about him, only because I'm defensive of him.
No.
You know what I mean?
Now you'll know why I didn't ask that one question.
Okay, no, that's no problem. I mean, there's a lot of guys I have no respect for that I'll just ramble on and run them in the ground. But he's not one of them.
There you go.
You know,
And I know he ain't watching. I can guarantee he ain't up watching.
you know, it's one of those guys that you're grateful for. You know, in his time of being a champion, he was a real champion. You know, not only for the people, but for all of us who live in Florida. You know, we've call us for Christmas parties and all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, we're always going to parties.
With our family.
He spent a ton of money
So,
on us.
So, you know, that was something. I remember exactly when he, you know, Vince McMahon said you can live wherever you want to live. They're going to fly us in, right? He got up in the dressing room and said, guys, just to let you know, Florida is the place to live. Affordable, good for the family, to raise your family there, and the beaches is there. It's warm all year long. You know, those are the things you never forget.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not just about the business. It's about your family and all of us. You know, that's why it's so with us. The whole time, you know, we see each other. It's like the family reunion. You know?
Also, I've heard Florida's great for traveling, right? The airports you can get everywhere.
Yes. That's how I, you know, think of.
The
always a brother.
only bad thing about him is like hanging out with Elvis.
Matt, thank you.
All right, next one's coming up. I'm going to start doing a couple at a time to move it along here. We got Adrian Evans from Canada.
You asked for us to talk about Hulk Hogan,
Sean,
and now you're going to shut us
No,
up?
I'm not shutting you up. I'm following the
That's him
instructions
talking
from the
for
man
me,
who
by
pays
the
me.
way.
He's telling me to do 3 at a time. I'm doing 3 at a time. Sean McBride, and these are both for Sean McBride. So there you go. I just got to do what the boss tells me to do. 80swrestlingcon.com. All upcoming signings listed as far as
Don't forget.
from now till the end of
got a
August, as
limited
well as what's going to be
time
going
left.
on for the rest of today with the Orient Express and Jake the Snake Roberts.
Well, that's only a drop in the bucket.
Once
Is this
again, if we
yours?
do not get to your Skinner and Haku photos by 11:30,
Adrian, thank you.
they will be signed off camera.
That's a promise. I'll sign.
Yes, Skinner told us he's got nowhere to be. He'll be
Got
signed
nowhere
away.
to be.
Tucson, thank you.
Right there. Orders are coming in hot all day long for Virtual Mania. got? Silver.
Away.
All right.
Sean McBride, thank you.
All right. Next couple of ones we got coming up are silver to Red Amir to Paul Keirn from Wheeling, Illinois. I didn't know there was a Wheeling in Illinois.
Hey, dude, did you just untie my shoes under the table?
Yeah, it was quick. I'm a flash.
All of a sudden, my shoes are untied.
And to William Woodard in Pike Road, Alabama.
Red Amir, thank you.
Just looking at the chat. Kyle James says, no one can beat that 80s era of wrestling. Agreed, Kyle. That's what it's all about. 80swrestlingcon.com. Although for Monday nights, we're not just focusing on 80s. We got 90s and 2000s. But right now, we're with Skinner and Haku from that golden era of wrestling.
Willem, domo arigatou gozaimashita.
That's Japanese. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
they did. That's it, William.
Kyle James, Haku versus Hulk Hogan on Saturday night's main event was awesome. I believe that's what this photo over here is from, if I'm not mistaken. So when do you fly back? Tomorrow?
No. I'm only good for a day out. I go back this afternoon at 3, but I don't get home till 9.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. Have you flown lately?
Yeah, I was
It's
in
a
Florida.
freaking nightmare.
Yeah, I was in Florida twice last month, and I didn't want to come back either time.
I wear 2 masks. And then I can't hardly breathe, so I'm the old guy on the aisles going,
All right, next couple of ones coming up for Haku. We got Aaron Carpina in Canada,
Paul, thank you.
Eli Burgess.
Badass teacher and then badass father.
And then we also have Andrew Kemet. Andrew Kemet. 80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in for the Orient Express, as well as Max Moon and Jake the Snake Roberts. They're all coming up after Skinner and Haku. The store is closed for Skinner and Haku right now.
Eli, you're the greatest quarterback I ever seen.
There you go. You're a Giants fan. I like that.
You are like you.
Yeah. You know what's amazing about Eli Manning is that he can keep that nice demeanor while dealing with the New York sports press for 15 years.
who's Eli Manning?
He was Peyton Manning's younger brother.
There's only 2 real sports, wrestling and roller derby. I don't watch none of that other
Roller derby? What do you have, a ESPN goat show? Who's showing roller derby in 2021?
shit. It don't matter. It's real.
What do you have, an antenna on the top of your house?
It's a work.
Roller derby.
To Aaron, thank you.
I don't even think flea markets do roller derby anymore.
That was going to be my,
That's a good one.
my
Andrew
next
Kemet
occupation,
right there.
but can't skate.
Nate Nizzle, I'm not asking that question because there's no need to bring people down. Let's keep it kind of positive and uplifting, guys. We have a long day here. We're not going to, I mean, Steve Keirn Skinner has been saying for 2 hours that he's going to die soon, so we don't need to ask questions like that.
Clock
Just
is
keep it
ticking.
positive, keep it upbeat. Come on.
It'll be a cool one, though, you read about. You know, like half eaten by a tiger shark.
Extra. Y'all read about it.
Skinner ate
Thank
by
you.
Hammerhead.
Andrew, thank you.
How about this?
So this looks
Skinner dies wrestling an alligator.
Marco Marino in Australia. This looks like it's a personal photo
Holy
of
cow.
you and him. WWF Rock and Wrestling Tour, August 5th, 1986.
Who's that?
He was a referee.
I guess.
Where's his glasses?
Well, maybe he was just, yeah, or he was cosplaying as a referee, and he snuck back in the locker room. Michael Risner, Skinner, he will always be half of the fabulous ones to me.
I will. I'll always be him too.
Kevin Kirby, great memories growing up with you, Haku. Thank you. Is there anyone you guys would have liked to have worked with that you didn't have a chance to?
No.
There you go, got to everybody.
I think I worked with everybody. Tell them to give you a name of did you ever work with. Then I can even narrow it down that easier.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
they're watching, so if a name comes to mind,
Yeah,
they can
there's
throw it in.
No, I was blessed.
Oh,
I got to work with everybody. I'm like the Kevin Bacon of wrestling.
Oh, thank you.
100 degrees with Keirn or something, but I've wrestled with everybody. I went through 4 generations, and then plus teaching, you know, all those people that are there now.
Yeah, well, you know, I knew that you were a prolific trainer, but when I heard Mike Awesome, I mean, I was a huge Mike Awesome mark from ECW, and I know a lot of people hated what they had him do in WCW, but I even found that entertaining. So that was a surprise to me that you could have so many different students with such a vast array of styles.
Yeah, you know, Florida's a hotbed. Florida, you know, has a reputation for breaking in a lot of talent. And
Yeah.
in the early 90s, myself, Dusty, Gordon Soley, and Mike Graham opened up a company called PWF, Pro Wrestling Florida, and we didn't have enough guys to work. So along came Scotty the Body, Mike Awesome, Diamond Dallas Page, Dustin, Dennis Knight, a lot of guys that hadn't been trained or were just learning. So you had to not only promote, you had to teach the talent some of the times to go in there and work. But we had an awesome crew.
That had to be a huge compliment, though, when you have someone the caliber of Dusty Rhodes entrusting you to trust their son. Like, you know.
Well, he didn't trust me. Don't get that wrong. I mean, he was like my big brother, Dusty was. And, you know, big brothers are always nice to you. I mean, you know, bless his heart. I loved him to death. He was a mentor. I got some great Dusty Rhodes stories that you've never heard. But at the same time, I mean, you know, he knew I was qualified to teach his son. And the thing about teaching, before anybody gets a misconception, you teach them everything. You don't teach everybody that you teach everything. You only give them enough that they can continue their education, because you really learn as experiences in the ring. I mean, you know, you can't go into a gym and learn everything you need to know about wrestling and then go out to the ring and be qualified and feel comfortable. Right, Mike?
Marco Marino and all the Australian in the South Pacific. Thank you.
All right, next couple ones coming up for Haku. We got Andrew Komet again. We got Doug Harvey, and we got Colt Campbell, Uniontown, Pennsylvania, who Skinner believes is actually Colt Cabana. Hiding under an alias.
Yeah. I don't think he's a big fan.
Nate Nizzle, is it true that Steve Keirn was considered to be the WWF champion, but it was given to Bob Backlund?
It is true. If you go on YouTube or somewhere, Kevin Sullivan tells the story. But for whatever it's worth, it didn't break my heart that I didn't go to New York, because I was afraid to come up here. I mean, when you live in Florida all your life, you know, you're used to stuff like getting off the interstate and getting back on. I mean, you know, like going to the end of the street and there's a 7-Eleven or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I came up here the first time with Dusty to go to the gardens, I was terrified. I was going, how do you find your way around, and who do you stop and ask if you don't know directions? Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, everybody that I asked when I came to upstate always had an answer like, I'm not giving you the answer, buy a map. I mean, you know, they weren't warm and friendly like in the South.
Now, there's definitely some, and we were talking off camera about that. I really do believe, not to make excuses for my Jersey brethren, but I really think the warm weather has something to do with that.
Well, you guys are in a hustle up here.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing something and, you know, working hard. I understand that. But, you know, when you're used to people being real nice all the time, I mean, you stop in the South and you ask for directions, they'll get in their truck and you can follow them.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? So, and that's in the old days. They got GPSs and all that stuff now, so they don't have to worry about that. But I mean, my simple life was, of course, Florida, Atlanta, Territory, Crockett's, and Carolinas, Tennessee. Anyway,
No, that's.
I'm not comfortable unless I see a palm tree.
But to that question about you were being considered, and then it went to Bob Backlund. Back in those days, when you met with a Vince Senior or any promoter from that era, because Bob Backlund had a 6-year title run. Did Bob Backlund know his title run was going to be for a long
He
period?
didn't know. Bob Backlund was my partner in Florida before he came up there. Mm-hmm. They put him with me. Eddie put him with me for a year because it usually, when you have a tag team partner, you're either the one that's most experienced or least experienced. And if you're the most experienced, your partner's watching everything you do, and they're learning. They're standing right there in front of you, learning stuff, and they kind of like developing. But the real story is Vince Senior sent me a brand new belt and told me that it would be a nice favor for him if I was to take it to Japan and drop it to Fujinami. And so that was supposed to be my stepping stone into New York. I was booked to New York that next week, coming back from Japan. Had Andre the Giant as my partner all around to get me over here. And plus, the angle was my dad was a prisoner of war in Vietnam, so I'm the perfect all-American boy, waving the American flag and working against Iron Sheik. So that was it was just the perfect angle that Eddie Graham had said, hey, to Vince Sr., use Steve Keirn because his dad's a prisoner in Vietnam. He's he's all-American boy kind of thing, and it'll fit right in. But I really didn't want to come. I mean, when I was in Japan, I kept dreading it. Stan Hansen was my first wrestling partner.
Coming up soon on Monday Night Virtual.
In Florida. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm talking too much. Never mind.
No.
Andrew, thank you.
Just reminding the
Doug,
fans
thank you.
that Stan Hansen is coming up for an upcoming signing. So this is Corey Walker, Spring Hill, Tennessee, the Walker Museum. Michael Blumenberg as well. We're just burning through some of these photos. 80s
Me and Stan Hansen were tag team partners when we were real young. We practiced blade jobs in my apartment.
Oh, wow.
That was exciting.
I hope the landlord didn't stop by to clean the carpets.
Right.
The only problem is when we showed up at the towns, the guys were saying, when did you guys do a blade job? You're on the first match.
Too cold, thank you.
We did it in the apartment.
How many beers are had before you practice that?
Well, I wasn't really a beer drinker. I mean, that was the kind of the MO of wrestlers, because you could throw bottles at signs when they were empty. But I grew up smoking pot.
There you go.
I mean, I'm a Florida guy.
Yeah.
So when Don Morocco came in the territory,
Oh,
he was
boy.
a perfect guy to ride with. I wish I'd have been his partner for a while. You knew that, right?
No, I didn't know anything.
Is there anything at
the
this
Wowie
point though, that
Mowie.
you guys don't know? That's what I love. After all these years, I mean, you said you've known him, what, almost 50 years or whatever?
yeah.
And you still learn new things about that's wild.
Well, I don't think he just learned a secret that I smoked pot. That was all just asking. That was why, if you look at my pictures, I'm all smiling, all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what always blows my mind now, seeing the legalization everywhere, where it's like your whole life, your whole upbringing, they tell you not to do it, and it's like, what else have they lied to us about,
I could tell you a lot of stuff. They've been lying to us for a long time.
Was my mom also lying when she said I was the handsomest boy in America?
Yes,
Thank you for laughing at that, Vicky. I appreciate it.
I'll reinsure that lie.
All right, we
To
got
the Walker Museum, sorry
No,
about
don't be
Walker
sorry.
Museum, thank you.
Another one for Corey Walker. I'm just going to keep feeding
Michael, thank you.
Eric Winderman in Pennsylvania.
Hey,
Colt,
Tommy, did you
thank
sell out of all the Skinner stuff?
Tim Eckery in Buena Park, California.
Can I give you a stack for my store to sign?
Yeah,
Dave Voron.
yeah, just give me something to sign or I'll just ramble on up here.
Well, look, we're appreciating that too. I think you think that we don't appreciate it. We're loving the stories. So
Well,
Rob
it wasn't
Keirn-
until I was 50 that I just swore I'd never lie again.
There you go.
Well, two people I lied to the most was my wife and my mother. You should have heard that conversation when I smartened my mom up.
Oh, I could imagine.
You remember that part, Mom, when I told you I never did steroids? That wasn't the truth.
Patrick Ruin, hello, and big greetings from the Netherlands. I'm from
Ooh,
Holland.
nice.
Ain't that weird?
Hey, Tommy, you want me just to
Corey,
sign
thank
these?
you. Corey Walker from Spring Hill, Tennessee.
Sean,
Hey, watch how you talk about me.
because you're the only 10 I see. Sean Barton, is there still Skinner memorabilia? I didn't see my card. Sean, if you had the
I
almost
signed
called them
to
trading
Sean.
cards. We did sign a bunch of cards for Skinner, so I think
Was
we
it
did.
SEAM?
Eric, thank you. And I'm sorry if you don't hear your name. It's just two here. So yeah,
Oh, it's us too. I'm trying to, keep. this
No,
thing
I'm
rolling
just
here.
sitting here by myself.
Oh,
Nobody here but me.
Listen, I don't
That's a
want.
subtle way to tell me to shut up.
I still blame Tommy for whatever he put in the coffee.
There you go. It was Mike from Howell who bought the coffee, so I don't know.
Yeah, don't get me another one. No telling what I'll see.
It's also my fourth cup because I barely slept last night.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on a date. It's real fun to tell the girl you're on a date with, yeah, I'm having breakfast with Skinner and Haku tomorrow, so I have to be home early.
Because she said, take me with you.
She's gone.
She was young. She knew you.
Who
had
the
Meng.
hell are they? That's okay.
I even had the
I have
fabulous
to go
one's
through
bow
this
tie on.
conversation once a week in
Just
Walmart.
trying to be a gentleman, right?
At 200 pounds, I'll be in Walmart and somebody rams me with a cart. And I have to turn around and say, you must not know who the hell I used to be. Well, I have to say it in Spanish because if we don't have
Well, actually, that's a question that I've asked everybody so far, too. Have you noticed now, with the advent of the WWE Network, a lot of younger fans approaching you and knowing about your career that were not even alive when you were in your primes?
Very true.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, you want to see, especially the young girls, you're wondering, when they approach you by themselves.
Yeah.
And you have to sit back and, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Until the parents show up and you said, thank God, because of
Yeah.
course, again, I'm not good with the technology and all that
No, I
stuff
understand.
that, the parents will say later,
Yeah.
that, oh, she knows you or he knows you from, I said, wow, it's just the approaching way
Yeah.
they should, as with the parents, to bring the children in,
Yeah.
instead of just let them come into
No,
us like that.
I understand that totally.
I'm just saying, whatever, Skinner is saying, I'm trying to copy whatever he's saying. Because I never know what is gonna happen to me tomorrow.
Oh, my God. The melodrama.
Davey, Warren,
Well,
thank
maybe
you.
you should sign one of those to me then. Just
Before I
sign
die.
it. Don't put my name on it because I can't sell it.
Yeah, or maybe there's the addition, with your name in it, they sell a little bit more.
Yeah, so for those of you that are asking, Jose Navarez, you just asked, I think we've said it several times, I'll repeat it again. If your stuff does not get to by 11:30, it will be signed off camera. We do have to rotate out for the Orient Express. They're going to be coming in. Nikos is going to be hosting that one. I'm going to be taking probably a nap in my car. And
I'll probably talk during their signing too. I'll be over there in that chair, but I'll be talking.
And then I'll be rowing my canoe back to Florida.
there you go. So if you did not see your memorabilia signed yet, it might be signed off camera. We still have a half hour left with these gentlemen. I'm sorry, sir.
Are you trying to say we still have that much time with them?
Have you ever seen him row?
No.
Anybody want to ski?
Tim, thank you.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom if I keep laughing this hard. Dan Jour. That's a rare one.
Yeah, it is.
The Haku LJN figure. Is that? Let me see what's the name on that one. 'Cause someone just asked. I want to.
Joe.
Oh, so here we go. Speak of the devil, Joe Navarez. Here's your figure, your Haku LJN.
Dan, thank you.
Now, I had a lot of these growing up. Unfortunately, I did not have this one because apparently, according to our figure expert Ian Levy, this is a very rare figure. Apparently.
Yes, they can be. That series wasn't really not available in the United States.
Okay.
At the time, LJN was.
How come it's so much bigger? Look at
phasing
that.
out.
Well, they're different
Look at
companies. That's Remco.
That's Remco.
That's
Oh, okay.
LJN. And you had a Hasbro.
Well, this is true to life, though. I mean, you know, I never looked this good.
Where would he like
But
this
I
size
was
exactly?
excited when I saw how good I looked.
On the back.
On the back, just signature. What does it say? A color? Oh, black.
Black.
So black, just your signature on the back of the figure there. Yeah, let's do that
That'll be the best thing.
because people want their people would rather I think see their memorabilia than the photos.
Hey, can I buy a picture of Haku and have him sign it to me?
We'll follow up with the poster that came from that.
Hey, Ryan,
Yes, sir.
can I buy a picture of Haku and have him sign it to me?
I believe you could do anything you want.
Don't listen to him.
I do. I want you to sign one to me.
Well, I just want you all to see that, this guy here, the most handsome two of it,
This is me on my toes.
and this is the twins right here, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dan.
Oh yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Yeah.
Danny DeVito, twins.
Can you see that?
Oh, look. Skinner doing the J.O.B.
You
for
bet
Haku.
I would, in a heartbeat for him.
There you go.
Same thing here. There we go.
There you go. Okay,
All right.
go ahead. Lay down, let me cover
There we
you.
go.
Get down! There's his gimmick.
Oh, okay.
It's R.I.P. Brain, not Brian.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, because I don't know if you're aware, that's Bobby the Brain
Oh,
not Bobby the Brian Heenan. When he says rest in peace, Brian, I'm like, who the hell's Brian? This has been a very morbid signing. To be honest.
Did he sign that?
What's that?
Did Haku sign the Brian?
No.
No.
I was gonna say, be careful.
Well, the good thing is that a photo we could always redo. I'm always extra cautious of people's memorabilia.
Yeah, I already messed up one, right?
Yeah, that's no big deal. Coco Beware kept signing the 2 red, 2 blue. It was funny.
Oh, shit. It's blue.
Okay, well, we'll just get you another one.
And I signed the thing already, and then it's come back to me. Sorry.
That's okay, I'll take that one. Who did you sign it
Just
to?
gotta pretend your name's Andrew now.
That's no problem.
Let me put the rest in peace. Heenan.
Yeah.
There you go, fixed it.
Yeah.
I'm having too much fun with these two. Oh boy.
Let me do. Thank you.
All right, so here we have for Jameson Kelly. This is actually the poster that used to come with the LJN action figures. So not only did you get the big giant rubber figure, the box that it came in, which was the card, you also got this poster. And so it's kind of weird though if you think about it, because a lot of the posters didn't match the attire of what the figure was.
That's true.
Right, so the poster is King Haku, and the figure was regular Haku, Islander Haku. So there you go. That's for Jameson Kelly. That's black, just signature coming up. Okay. Kyle James, these guys are funny. Yes, they are. It's certainly been a very entertaining signing so far. We got a lot more coming up. The Orient Express is going to be up next with Nikos Ricos. Then I'll be back at 2 p.m. with Jake the Snake Roberts. 80swrestlingcon.com for all the upcoming Monday night virtual signings. Go to the Wrestling Collectors Superstore. Check out all the in-store signings that are going to be coming up there as well. Follow at 80s Wrestling on Instagram. Follow at Ryan Marr Comedy on Instagram. Try to find Skinner on Facebook before he dies or deletes it. He puts up his pictures of fishing and whatnot. We're having a lot of fun here this Sunday. Graham Nash, I want to order, but only if signed on air. but you're running out of time. Well, you're already out of time because the store's been closed for an hour. So next time, be a little more prompt. But you can still order for the Orient Express and Jake the Snake Roberts. 80swrestlingcon.com. Lisa Constantino, Ryan, great job. Aw, thank you. Thank you for putting me over and allowing me to put myself over by reading your comment. Kyle James, the store is awesome. Great job, Tommy. Wrestling Collector Superstar is incredible.
Andrew, finally, I got it right. It's in brew, and
Cool.
rest in peace, Bobby Heenan, all right? Thank you.
So here we go. This is a Royal Rumble 1992 poster. It's actually double-sided because then you got WrestleMania 6 title for title on the back. But this is for Jim Rose, so he wants, well, that's for Orient Express later. Haku can sign there, and Skinner signs down there. And then Jake Roberts will be here later to round that out.
You say any color?
Calum Clark, hi from New Zealand. Hi, Calum. Tell the Bushwhackers we said hello.
Red begin. Goes with the Hulksters.
80swrestlingcon.com. All upcoming signings listed.
Just Butch in New Zealand. Luke lives in Clearwater by us.
Oh, nice. Wade Bates says, got into this late after a late night. Looks like a great start. Best way to shake off a hangover. Skinner, Haku, and Ryan. There you go. Well, we have bagels. Those are a great way to shake off a hangover.
Please, before you go on.
This is a just signature for Jameson Kelly. This is for my good friend Mike Tarras. One of the reasons I got into the wrestling business at the young age of 14 years old, Mike Tarras. So here you go, King Haku photo in black right there. Mike Tarras and Mike from Howell. They were actually a tag team known as Young Lust. A little bit of trivia.
Wow, that come out really good.
Thank you.
I just gave Young Lust the plug. There you go.
Yeah, red always pops on these things.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you know, this
80swrestlingcon.com. Get those orders in for the
is
rest
one
of
of
the
them gimmick
afternoon.
pens.
Chris
Yeah,
Briggs, hello
yeah,
from
that's why.
Massachusetts. Hi, Chris. Eric Straker, totally agree. Always does an awesome job. Thank you, pal.
Are you making that up over there now?
No, it's all right here, my friend.
Oh, okay.
It's as real as the photos of the stingrays that you have. I can show you.
Shuffle your feet.
Oh, this is really cool.
Mike, thank you.
Alan Sombrook from the UK. It looks like a photo of you and Barbarian as the Faces of Fear in WCW.
So have you eat turnbuckle?
Eat the turnbuckle? No. Oh, no, please. Please. You should have seen earlier when we got here. I was having my bagel and he walked in and I turned around. He was standing right there. I'm like, oh, jeez. But he's a sweetheart of a guy, that Haku. I don't care what they say about
Hey,
him.
don't ruin that. Dude.
Black, right?
Yeah, stick with the black.
Yeah.
That's an inside thing.
Eric Stryker says, at first I thought that was a shower curtain. Nothing would surprise me. Nothing.
You want to buy one?
Yeah,
We'll come out on live.
that would be a great. The Faces of Fear shower curtain. Actually, just a whole Dungeon of Doom.
You
shower
just make it up, didn't you?
No, it says it right here. I thought this was a shower curtain.
Yeah, more than this.
Nate Nizzle, did either of you ever refuse to do a job to someone?
Never.
Never.
Yeah.
It's a business. You don't refuse. It's not that guy's fault you're working with. It's the promoter. Don't do a job for him. Leave the territory if you're not happy. But put your opponent over. Number one rule in wrestling. Number one rule in wrestling. Protect your opponent. Protect your opponent. That's the number one rule in wrestling.
We got a question from Miguel Moraldo. He wants to know why the Islanders broke up. He was such a huge fan of them. That's from Miguel Moraldo.
I don't know. I woke up one day and my partner disappeared.
Just disappeared.
Yeah.
This started out as a wrestling signing with Haku and Skinner, and it turned into Waldorf and Statler from the Muppets. And I'm just hanging out for the ride.
Man, I thought it was going to be something really exciting, you know. He was gone.
Alan, thank you. There goes your shower curtain.
Oh, thank you, Miguel
It's all wet.
Ronaldo, for that question. Gracias. Wade Bates. Wade Bates to Wade. Eric Burgess, thanks for doing this, guys. Lots of love from Michigan.
Let me tell you a story about the night I left Jacques Rougeau and Terry Taylor peeing on the side of the road 90 miles from Nashville. Stan didn't really think I was going to leave him.
Please tell us that story.
As we drove away and they were in the taillight reflection. Good thing for Paul Morton, old Ricky Morton's dad was a referee and was driving the ring. He saw him on the side of the interstate. They were a real pain in the ass to ride with. So when they got out to pee, I said, say goodbye to them two.
Wait, thank you.
Drove off.
I feel awful for saying this, but it is something that always struck me. Jacques Rougeau just seems like he's an annoying guy. I don't know.
Well, you know what? He's really a nice guy, too. He's misunderstood, but that's being Canadian. You guys are too nice, but, you know, that Canada, your brain's frozen or something when you live up there. I found that with the Minnesota guys, too. You know, anybody that can live in snow 9 months out of the year.
Something wrong with them, huh?
Yeah, there's definitely something. Too much time inside. Get outside. I guess I had to stop barbecuing like in May or something that's just still snowing.
Fishing, I got the biggest fish. You said you got the biggest fish.
Rose Krause with a question. Who's the guy in the green shirt?
Now you're really getting to where you're irritated.
I'm not messing with you.
I'm probably
The
your
shirt
dad.
has his name and his picture on it. Christ. I can't do this anymore. Sorry. Oh my God.
Is it 5 o'clock yet?
I'm not making it.
Is it happy hour yet? My goodness.
And you know,
I can only take so many insults in one day.
and when Tommy Fierro said to me 2 weeks ago, "You think you could do the whole day on your own?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." Oh my God, this is going to be a hard one. You guys really raised the bar for this one. Mike Terrace.
I need to put on another shirt.
Just put on the bow tie.
Bow tie and suspenders.
I'm not taking that. Hey, give me that guy's email
Oh my
address,
God, I
will
need
you?
to sanitize my hands on that one.
Can we get some more coffee with whatever you put in there, please? Tommy, what did you put in the coffee? You tried to get me drunk last night.
Kyle James, LOL, Skinner is out of control. Johnny Poda, life in Canada is great. We barbecue in the snow all day.
There we go.
Sorry, I knew I'd insult somebody from Canada.
Greg Southall, what was it like being past the king mantle from Harley Race?
They passed the king what?
The king mantle, I guess that means the crown.
Oh, the crown.
Yeah.
I woke up one day, I became the king. It was great.
There you go.
No, it was good. You know, I mean, coming from Harley Race as, you know, one of the greatest champion, you know,
Yeah.
Amen.
you know, business, and, you know, hey, to take over, you know, the kingship from him, it was one of my greatest moments.
Gotcha. That's
That's
great.
from the guy with the green shirt on.
Nate Nizzle, in capital letters, does anyone in wrestling like Terry Taylor? I haven't heard anyone say anything nice about him.
I like him.
I love Terry Taylor.
I like him, but, you know, he is an irritating guy at times. But
There you go.
Yeah.
I've
I
heard
went
that
over and worked
about
with him
myself.
at NXT.
The Red Rooster. That's,
Yeah.
Red Rooster, yeah. Yeah, I love Terry.
Yeah.
Eric Werner to Eric. Andrew Kellad, thank God church is over. You guys are killing me. Well, I still can't believe you had us on in church. I mean, I'm a recovering altar boy.
My
So.
father-in-law's a deacon.
Your father-in-law's a deacon? Yeah, recovering
I
altar.
didn't realize today was Palm Sunday.
Oh, today is Palm Sunday. Oh shit.
Yeah, my wife reminded me of that.
Cullen Helmick, Skinner needs to be a commentator for a promotion. Any interest in doing any commentary, Skinner?
No, because he's gonna die tomorrow.
You know, you're right. That's a good answer. But I would probably talk too much, and I'd probably say what I feel about the match sucking. So it probably wouldn't be the.
Great idea. From the coffin. This is the Skinner. I'm talking to you from the coffin.
Hey, I'll drive this merchandise up. I'll start a rumor that I'm dead. I mean, you know.
Eric, thank you.
The guy in the green shirt's dead.
I know it's Christmas in New Jersey. March. We're supposed to be, right? March?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about changing to a blue shirt.
Stan Laddergrass, the reason that you're not finding the photos right now is because, unfortunately, for Skinner and Haku, the store is closed. But you can still order for Orient Express as well as Jake the Snake
You
Roberts.
missed it.
Eric Werner is up next for Skinner. And then we got Emil in red for Haku. Craig Southall, who's the guy in the blue shirt? There you go.
Boy, we're over, aren't we?
Right?
Just like Walmart, this is the same respect I get. I hate Walmart.
Glenn Fierro, this is by far the best signing I've watched. Thank you, Glenn. 80swrestlingcon.com.
He told Glenn he's the one that designed my store. Thank you.
Glenn designed your what? I'm sorry?
Store. He built my store.
Store. Oh, cool. Well,
Emil, thank you again. Thank you.
is he a relative?
He's my cousin.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, you know, you Italians, you keep it in the family. Hey, my cousin, he's a contractor. There you go. Good to see you, Glenn.
Three-phase construction.
There you. What's the name of the company?
Three-phase construction.
Say it one more time, bud.
Repaint?
Three-phase construction. Glenn
Oh,
Fierro.
three-phase.
Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Three-phase?
Free-phase, yeah.
Pre-phase?
Free. Oh, three.
What the hell are you guys saying? Can you spell it? I mean, is this a P or a T?
Well, we only have
I want to
about
make
Three.
sure we get a good
Three.
plug. He was nice.
we only have about
If you're
10
getting
minutes.
anything built, you want to get it built with
Three-phase.
three-phase.
There you go.
For sure.
Not two,
Yeah.
not four.
If I ever move to New Jersey, I'm going to have him build me a house.
1, 2, 3. 3 phases, but 2 big mouths.
The 3 phases of fear. There you go.
That's 3 phases.
All right, we only have about 10 minutes.
Construction.
He's
We
awesome.
build it like it is.
The inmates are running the asylum.
He should have his own show, like remodel,
Yeah.
rephase.
I've got 10 minutes left with you guys, so we're going to get to a couple quick questions
that
that I think you
all?
can answer. Yeah.
Can we stay if you don't want us to stay?
Well, you're going to have to fight the Orient Express.
That's not going to be a problem.
I know. Nate Nizzle, did either of your wives tell you not to hang with Ric Flair?
No,
No, we were.
I was at my own choice.
Me too.
Yeah.
Jeff England.
You know what your mom said when you were growing up? If you can't think of something nice to say,
Brandon Lockwich, the host looks like Just Incredible's long-lost twin brother. What? Yeah, because that's the thing. Every
See, I
bald guy
think
with a
you're
beard
making
looks
this stuff
exactly the
up
same.
about the
I'm
host
Toby
and
from This Is Us. I'm Will Sasso. Yeah, every bald guy with a beard looks fucking identical. Excuse my language, but you know, we're just letting shit fly today. All right? It's virtual mania, baby.
you guys all look like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Lefty Lou,
Jeff, thank you.
you have to bring back Skinner and Haku for another. This is entertaining.
Well, you're not buying no damn pictures because I'm just saying generic. Get on the ball here.
Brandon
I'm telling you,
Lockwich.
my
Brandon
time
Lockwich.
clock is ticking. Tick, tick, tick.
All right, now
You're
we
gonna
got
be
some-
going, oh man, I should have had him sign something. The guy died.
We got some WWE Classic trading cards. That's Annie Spivey right there. We got Mark Summer in Houston, Texas. A lot of these will be signed off camera, so I'm trying to get as many shout-outs in now as possible. But your memorabilia will be signed, we promise you. So here we got another one for Jonathan Golembrowski. These are the cards.
Brandon, here we go. Thank you.
Another one for Jonathan Golembrowski. Those are the cards.
Still can't get over the guy in green.
I'm sure they were just ribbing you.
No, they weren't. He was serious.
No, because it even says
You
on
know,
the video when I shared
you
it.
think
not
that,
this-
but I ran FCW and the talent would come through. They didn't know anybody before John Cena.
There you go. No, you're right.
You know, they'd
Yeah.
say, who the hell are you? And I'm going, I'm Steve Keirn. Well, what did you do? Were you a manager? Okay, that did it.
No, it's true. But did you know in 1992, having that gimmick of Skinner, that all these years later there would be a demand for people that want autographs? I mean, because
Oh, yeah, I knew there'd be a big demand for that Skinner.
all right, well,
That's why I bought them all.
Johnny Poda, can I get a pic of Skinner inscribed "Looking forward to heaven"?
I'm going there.
Mike Goldberg
You might
says,
want to be
"Skinner,
careful.
just
I
say
might
you
be
were
able
doing."
to come back. I'm asking to come back as a pelican or a dolphin. Because you imagine a pelican, all he does is fly all day and look at girls on the beach.
And eat fish.
And nobody's hunting his ass.
No.
And the same with a dolphin. He just rolls around in there, gets underwater shots in the bathing suit and everything. Nobody hunts a dolphin either.
Oh, you're right. David Rosenthal says, Ryan, you should bring these guys on the road in a comedy tour. I'll tell you what, for a lot of these wrestlers that have stepped into the comedy arena, I think Haku and Skinner would definitely give them a run for their money, no doubt.
I'll blow him out of the water. Dolph Ziggler, I helped him, and Dolph told me he does a comedy thing.
Yeah, he calls it
Annie
comedy.
Spivey, thank you.
Dolph calls it comedy.
Mark Stomer, thank you.
Dustin Dubuque with the Faces of Fear t-shirt.
Jonathan,
So you want me to tell you a really good
Thank you.
joke?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. This old man and this old lady are getting ready to go to bed.
Oh
Jonathan,
boy, I'm
thank
going to
you.
regret this one, but go for it.
Okay. The old man comes out, gets in bed first. He's watching TV. The old lady stays in the bathroom a little bit longer. Now she comes out. She comes to the end of the bed, gets in front of the TV. The old man's trying to look around her, and he can't see. So finally she rips open her robe, and she's,
There we go. I rip off and there goes the Faces of Fear.
she's butt-ass naked.
Oh, naked.
And
I
she
can't
says,
do
super sex. And he looks at her and he goes, I'll take the soup. You can use that, Ryan.
Oh, thank you. I
I'll
appreciate
tell you
that.
the unedited version of it.
There you go. And I'm going to need to wear one of those green Skinner shirts when I perform it, too.
Don't
Just
wear a
to-
green one.
You
They're
mean the
gonna
green
wonder
one?
who you are.
All right, guys, I'm going to try to run through some of these photo shout-outs. They will be signed off camera. Don't forget the Orient Express is
think,
coming up in
Silver
about
in the
5 or
corner?
6 minutes with Nikos Ricos, who's going to
Let's
be
just
taking
see
over.
how one goes.
I'll be back with Jake the Snake Roberts at 2 p.m. But here are some upcoming photos that are going to be signed off camera while the Orient Express are doing their thing with Nikos. We got Bill Nolan coming up. We also have Jumpin' Jay, co-host of the 80s Wrestling Podcast. We also have Luis Cotter, Tony Jaramillo from Austin, Texas, and Bill DiMichele, who's had several photos already. Once again, we apologize if you ordered and we weren't able to get to you on camera, but your stuff will be signed. You could still order for the Orient Express, Max Moon, and Jake the Snake Roberts.
Tustin, there goes the t-shirt, Faces of Fear, Barbarian and Meng. All right, thank you.
Here are the people that ordered that will be signed off camera. We're going to mention your name now. We're actually adding a name to the list. This is what happens with Virtual Mania. We're flying, baby. We're flying. Don't knock over production right there. Everything's going crazy in here today. I think it's just the energy of the room, man. This has been one of the best
Hey,
Sunday
before we
breakfasts
go
I've
off
had.
the air, can you get Haku to sign a picture to me? So I can have it recorded.
Before he died?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How useful is it going to be?
Yeah.
Jimmy Street, when can we expect to hear Stan Lane is that politician's dad or not? We talked about that a little bit earlier, 80swrestlingcon.com.
It's all true.
A couple days.
It's all true.
He goes, it's all true. To be signed off camera, Sean Barton, Andy Hammerlink, Ricky O, Robert Williams, Carter Cole, Michael Provost, Michael D, and our buddy Rob Kerr from Australia. They're going to be signed off camera. Nikos Rikos is coming up with the Orient Express in 5 minutes. So get those orders in for Orient Express, Max Moon, and Jake the Snake Roberts. We have some time for more memorabilia, or are we going to hold
Hey,
off
Tommy.
on to the photos?
Could I have a couple of these pictures? I got neighbors that want pictures, and I don't save pictures anymore.
All right.
I don't know what.
Well, you know what I just
All
said?
right,
we signed
Jay,
off
thank
camera. Should we
you.
end it? Should we wrap up? What are we doing?
And this is for Bill, Michelle. Thank you.
Well, because I already said that they were going to be signed.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so, well, here's the thing, guys. This, I got to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect at 9 o'clock in the morning. I got here at 7:30. You guys were highly entertaining. I know the fans in the chat were very entertained. You have any parting words for the fans of 80s Wrestling Con?
You talking to the guy in the green or him?
No, I'm talking to both of you. I mean, you've been a tag team this whole time. Why not keep it
Yeah, I
moving?
know, but I don't want to interrupt him.
No, please.
You've been great.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank
Thank
you
you
guys
for
were
having us,
fantastic.
and and the guy on green there with the green shirt.
I got some. Thanks for tuning in. This is a real honor. I'm humbled. I mean, it's hard to believe I'm humbled, but at the same time I am, because anybody that wants you to just sign something for them, that's sure flattery. And most guys should accept it as that. It's unfortunate that a lot of people don't. But for somebody to ask for your autograph, or somebody to ask for a picture sign or a doll or whatever, I'm totally humbled and I appreciate it. And it's really going to go up in value. You're not going to believe how rich I'm going to make you. I'm going to drop dead probably in the next 20, 30 minutes. So make sure.
Yay! Thank
you
you.
get one.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you all.
Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. We're going to be back with Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm going to be back at 2 o'clock with Jake the Snake Roberts. Up next, we got the Orient Express with Nikos Rikos. Thank you so much for tuning
You all
in.
get bow to the king now.
Thank you,
And the
gentlemen.
guy in green shirt. Thank you.
I need a nap.